It's a new season, and every team in the NFL has its dreams. The trademark of the Phoenix Cardinals has long been a quick striking attack. But Phoenix now faces life without Neil Lomax. And it's Gary Hogeboom who hopes to deal the Cards nothing but aces. The Detroit Lions had an award-winning offseason. And with Barry Sanders signed, sealed, and delivered, he's ready to bring his Heisman Trophy form to the Lions. Rookie quarterback Rodney Peete is sidelined. The Sanders will be the focus of the silver stretch, which is designed to restore the roar. So today in the Motor City, Gene Stallings and the Phoenix Cardinals take on Wayne Fonse's Lions, who are hungry for victory. Two longtime rivals who have not met since the start of this decade clash today at the Pontiac Silverdome. The Cardinals and the Lions, it's opening day for a new NFL season, and everyone has high hopes, and everyone does here at CBS Sports. Good afternoon again, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton along with Dan Fouts, and we are mighty pleased to be back with you once again. And I guess you could say the new chapters are going to be written concerning both of these teams. Now, the Phoenix Cardinals have a big chapter, and that is at quarterback, where Gary Hogeboom is replacing Neil Lomax, who is out perhaps for the season, and a lot of burden is going to be on Mr. Hogeboom's shoulders, Dan.
Well, really, he's just put right in the top of the pressure cooker here. He's got two things he's got to prove today. Number one, to himself, can he be a starting quarterback in the NFL? And plus, he's got to prove to his talented teammates that he deserves a job also.
He's been around 10 years, has never really been a starter. Now, as far as the Lions, they have a lot to prove to a lot of people, but they come in with a new exuberant, innovative offense. It's called the silver stretch, run and shoot, call it what you will. And of course, a key man who will be part of this is signed the other day, Barry Sanders, the Heisman Trophy winner. How much do you think he'll play today, Dan?
Well, I think we've already got a bit of a idea of the excitement that he has created for the Detroit Lions. If the game is close, we'll see Barry Sanders. And you got to remember that the first word in this new offense is run and shoot, and Barry Sanders is a great runner.
Question is, do they have the great shooter? Question is, do they have the great shooter? And we'll find out, because Rodney Peete, the promising rookie who would have won the starting job, will be out a couple of weeks. And anyway, the Lions will receive, and kicking off will be Al Del Greco for the Cardinals. Mel Gray is deep for the Lions. Crowd of about 40,000, half filled here at the Silverdome. And it's going to be Gray at about the 8. And he stopped short of the 25-yard line. The quarterback will be Bob Gagliano. He is 31 years old and has very little NFL experience. And he will have an offensive line in front of him. Lomas Brown, Eric Andolsek, Kevin Glover, Joe Malinchik, and Mike Utley, a rookie who's playing at right tackle. The rest of the offense will explain what all those SBs and XRs mean. Tony Page, Richard Johnson, Robert Clark, Stacy Mobley, and Jeff Chadwick. The lone holdover. They do not have a tight end on the squad. 1st and 10 on the 23-yard line. 4 wide receivers. In motion is Richard Johnson. Gagliano being chased. Throws it up for grabs and throws it out of bounds. The Cardinals defense. Up front, Freddie Joe Nunn, Bob Clasby, Gary Hadd, and David Galloway. Ken Harvey is the only linebacker in their defensive alignment. And they will use a bunch of defensive backs. Cedric Mack and Carl Carters are the regular cornerbacks. Lonnie Young and Tim McDonald the safeties. Roland Mitchell and a rookie Jay Taylor are the extra defensive backs against the run and shoot offense. So there's Gagliano. And a look at it. As the defense faces them, it'll be 2nd down and 10 on the 23. Gagliano nearly intercepted, and the pass was nearly caught. Cedric Mack got a hand on it. And it was Richard Johnson who nearly caught it before it went out of bounds.
Wayne Fonts is looking for a lot of production out of his quarterback today. Bob Gagliano is, we talked about Hogebin being under a little bit of pressure, but this man Gagliano has only thrown 30 passes in his NFL career. But he earned this job as the starting quarterback because he had the best preseason, and that's the way it should be.
He didn't think he was going to be around. He says, I was like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Thought I was going to be a player coach before long, but he outlasted them all. Of course, Rodney Peete got him. 3rd down and 10. Cardinals show blitz. Here they come. Gagliano on the run. Stacey Mobley makes the catch. A 30-yard gain, and the Lions are in Cardinal territory. Cedric Mack on the tackle.
We're going to see the blitz coming right up the middle. Gagliano has a little bit of mobility himself along with Rodney Peete. Watch him step up into the pocket here, and he throws a perfect strike to Stacey Mobley, and a great catch. Always tough to make that first catch of the ball game. That's a big play for the Lions.
Now, what does Gagliano, the quarterback, have to do in the run and shoot? What are his moves in this thing?
Well, he's got to read that defense right away. He did a nice job of seeing the blitz that time, going to the single coverage.
1st and 10 on the Cardinal 47. A 30-yard strike on 3rd down.
Black 68. Go.
They have yet to run the ball. The pass to Chadwick is incomplete, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
A drop pass is something that has bothered the Lions all preseason, and part of the reason is that they were trying to work 5 quarterbacks into this new offense. They had about 20 wide receivers, so the coordination between the quarterback and the wide receivers just wasn't quite there, and we're seeing a little bit of that problem with the drop passes already today.
Wayne Fonts, in his first full season, now has the cushion of a 5-year contract. He finished with 3 games last season. 2nd down and 10. First running play, Tony Page to the 45-yard line, a gain of 2. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 8 yards on the play. There's Gene Stallings, who is his 4th year, and of course there's pressure on Stallings. They were 7-4 last year, the Cardinals, before they dropped their last 5.
Well, they dropped their last 5, then they dropped their first 2 in preseason. Only won 1 game in preseason, but he's got to create that feeling for the Cardinals. Hey, we can win ball games. They've really been victimized in the preseason by losing at the very last play of the game, something he's got to turn around quickly.
3rd down and 8. Mobley, one of the slot receivers in motion, flooded out to the left. Gagliano spots a man. He's got Richard Johnson, and another Lion 1st down at the 30. Carl Carter and Lonnie Young on the stop, a gain of 16.
Gagliano must like 3rd downs, I guess, because he's doing a great job on them. With the rollout here, he wanted to throw a shorter pass to Stacey Mobley coming over the middle. Went to a secondary receiver, Richard Johnson, and he makes the catch and gets really tagged there by Cedric Mack.
Wayne, do you like the run and shoot?
I think it's a great offense if you have the personnel. Personnel wins out in this league.
1st down on the 30 of the Cardinals. 12 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the 1st quarter. This is the first possession of the game. Here's Page. Breaks a tackle and is held up at about the 25.5-yard line. Gary Had making the stop on Tony Page. He doesn't have nearly the speed that Paul Palmer, who was picked up from Kansas City,
or Barry Sanders.
Obviously,
he runs about a 5.1 40, which is very, very slow. But what Tony Page gives you is he gives you a dependable guy, a guy that's going to be there every day. He plays on all the special teams, total team ball player, and he's averaging over 7 yards a carry in the preseason.
See what you mean when you say it's a running back's offense, really. 2nd down and 6. Cardinals look like they're ready to come. Page, without that speed to go outside, is stopped by Bob Clasby. A loss on the play of a couple. And we'll bring up a 3rd down. And that's been a popular down for Bob Gagliano so far on this first drive.
Well, if you look at weaknesses and strengths of the Cardinal defensive football team, and I'm sure Barry Sanders is doing that just right now, because he might have taken that ball outside with his great speed, but he's got a little bit of learning to do with this new offense, and the coaches have got to get comfortable. But getting back to the strengths and weaknesses of the Cardinal team, their strengths are against the run, and their weaknesses are against the pass.
3rd down and 8 on the 28-yard line. So far, Gagliano has clicked twice on 3rd down pass conversions. Gagliano wide open is Mobley. They've got another 1st down. Inside the 15. Tim McDonald. That was good for 14 yards. Where have these guys come from? Guys like Stacy Mobley and Richard Johnson, and we'll be seeing others. He was a free agent, used to play with the Rams, and one thing you can say about most of them, Dan, they're all kind of short.
And quick. And you saw after Mobley made that grab, what a great job he did of getting up the field and avoiding a couple of tackles there. That's what Stacy Mobley has, is tremendous quickness and mobility down the field.
He's replaced by Jason Phillips, a rookie out of the University of Houston, which employed the run and shoot. 1st and 10 on the 14 for the Lions. Here's Page. He's going to be stopped, and it was Galloway who first knocked him, and then it was Freddie Joe Nunn who put the clamps on, and a loss of about a yard or so on the play.
We talked with the Detroit coaches about their plan and where they had problems in the preseason. They didn't score a whole lot of points. They had a lot of turnovers on interceptions on the 20-yard line and in, so they felt that today's game they wanted to run the ball in this situation. They tried it that time, and the Cardinals are being very tough against the run.
You saw Eric Hipple, who was the only other quarterback activated for the Lions. The 11th play of the drive is coming up now. 2nd down and 12. Gagliano with time. Penalty marker down, and Phillips with the reception. Jason Phillips inside the 10. Jay Taylor on the tackle, but there's a flag. And it'll go against the Lions, a holding call. The referee today is Fred Wyant. First penalty of the game and of the season.
Holding number 60, 2nd down.
That's the rookie Mike Utley, who is a 3rd-round pick from Washington State, and maybe the most impressive rookie that the Lions have seen thus far.
You can hardly blame him. He's going up against the Cardinals' best pass rusher in Freddie Joe Nunn.
There's Freddie Joe Nunn, who led the team in sacks last year, 2nd actually to Reggie White of the Eagles.
Another #1 draft pick for the Cardinals. They've drafted a lot of guys on that defense. #1.
Carl Painter, number 26, who's got a lot more speed than Tony Page, is now the running back on 2nd and 22. Painter gets the call. Gets to the 19. 7-yard gain. Freddie Joe Nunn made the stop.
Now, Painter's a guy that has a little bit more speed, a little more shiftiness than a Tony Page does. And you saw with that gain there what he can do in this offense. One of the advantages that this stretch offense gives you is it not only stretches the field lengthwise, but also widthwise. That offensive line you see right there will take huge splits, bigger than normal, and give the running back a lot more lanes to choose from.
It's 3rd down, and Gagliano is a perfect 3 for 3 for 59 yards on 3rd downs on this drive. Held the ball for more than 8 minutes. 3rd and 15 on the 19. Flag is down, and the pass by Gagliano is complete. Penalty marker down. That was Robert Clark. And Roland Mitchell. And another penalty against the Lions.
Illegal motion. One of the men wasn't quite set before that snap.
2 penalties have halted this Lion drive right now, but they'll have another play coming up. Now they say they're going to decline it, apparently.
Illegal motion, number 24, declined, 4th down.
That was Jason Phillips, one of the slot receivers, so it's 4th down, and Eddie Murray will come in to try a field goal. 7:26 remaining in the 1st quarter. The Lions have held the ball since the opening kickoff. Jim Arnold, who punts for the team, will hold for Murray. This will be a 30-yard attempt. 20 of 21 field goals to tie an NFL record with a great percentage last year. good, and the Lions are on the board. Well, Murray and Arnold have been around with all the changes here in Detroit, and it's Eddie Murray who puts the Lions up 3-0 on the first drive of the game. We're back here at the Pontiac Silverdome. Dick Stockton and Dan Fouts. Great ball control for the Lions, and they managed to get 3 out of it with Ed Murray's 30-yard field goal. And now Murray will be kicking off for Detroit, and the Cardinals, who have one of the most spectacular return men in the NFL back. By Sikahema, who's on the left, and Ernie Jones to your right.
Do you see Murray there rubbing the ball against the AstroTurf? He's doing that to get a little bit of friction on the ball so he gets better contact when he hits the ball with his foot.
Murray's kick, and it's going to be Sikahema on the 1. And the Lions knock him down before he can get to the 20. That was Ray Crockett. So Gary Hogaboom, who was a backup in Dallas and with the Indianapolis Colts, leads the Cardinals. He'll have a very impressive offensive line. The wide bodies: Louis Sharp, Todd Pete, Derek Kennard, Lance Smith, and Tootie Robbins. Robert Ewald is the tight end. Stump Mitchell and Earl Farrell are in the backfield, and the wide receivers, a veteran and spectacular crew of J.T. Smith and Roy Green. Cardinals will start from their 19-yard line, and they bring Farrell, the fullback, out to the left and in motion. Stump Mitchell on first down, knocked back and thrown for a loss. That was Benny Blades, the strong safety. The defense is psyched, apparently.
You bet.
Eric Williams, Jerry Ball, and Keith Ferguson, the 3-man front. Jimmy Williams, Chris Spielman, Dennis Gibson, and Michael Kofer, the linebackers. Terry Taylor, Jerry Holmes are the corners. William White and Benny Blades, who made that stop, are the safeties. Bruce McNorton and James Griffin will be the nickelbacks and dimebacks for the Lions today. 2nd and 10. No gain on the play. Again, Farrell in motion. This time Farrell gets the call and gets a couple. Dan, what does all that motion mean? What are the Cardinals trying to accomplish?
Well, they're trying to change the strength of the Detroit defense. They'll give them a look of strong side left, and they'll shift back to strong side right and force the Lions to change their safety force that time. Great play made by Jerry Ball that time, or that might have been a big gain.
Notice on the Cardinal jerseys, that is the state of Arizona flag, which is a new adornment on the Cardinal uniform.
I'm not quite sure it goes, though, with the uniform, are you? The colors are not quite right there.
I mean, they're not red and black like they normally was. 3rd down and 6 on the 23. Ernie Jones, another wide receiver. In the game, the pass intended for Novacek, a tight end, and it's knocked away by William White. Tell you, the Lions, Bruce McNorton also in on the play.
Good pressure from the front line of the Detroit Lions, and McNorton is all over this play. There's the pass right over the middle to Novacek, and you saw it's just a little bit behind Novacek from Hogaboom, and Norton was there to make the play. McNorton, excuse me.
He was a starter last year and now is the nickel back. So on 4th down, Rich Camarillo, 109 years with the Patriots and the Rams, will be kicking to Mel Gray. Gray should get a return on this. But he slips on the turf. And he's down. He'll give the Lions good field position, but he is stopped at the 44-yard line by Ken Harvey. You know, Dan, Wayne Font's not only looking for aggressiveness on the attack, but defensively as well, and the Lions showed that on that first series on defense.
Well, they really did. Benny Blades is a type of guy that in only his 2nd year has really become a leader of the defensive team. You can see that he's kind of hyped up out there. He made a great block on Craig Wolfley on that return that gave Farr that 7-yard gain. But Benny Blades is going to be a big star in this league.
Blades and Michael Kofer are the 2 weapons on defense, but now the Lions on attack, 1st and 10 on their 43. Gagliano with time. Chadwick open. Down yardage. Cedric Mack chases him out of bounds, but the Lions again are in Cardinal territory.
Cardinals are trying to mix their coverages, zone and man, and Chadwick was wide open that time as he just ran a simple out pattern, and the coverage was nowhere near him. This offense is going to give a defensive coordinator nightmares because it does cover the entire field. The quarterback can go anywhere at any time. There are a lot of wide receivers getting open.
And as Gene Stalling said, the toughest thing is you only have to prepare for it once. It's almost like playing the single wing. Second down and 1 on the 47. Here's Page. He'll have the first down. Freddie Joe Nunn brings him down from behind. And right now for an NFL Today report, let's check in with Brent Musburger in New York with an update on a new Falcon, Deion Sanders. Brent?
All right, Dick. Neon Deion starts the week playing center field for the New York Yankees. It's a home run in Seattle. Leaves in the 6th inning the next night because he had some business in Atlanta. Signed a multi-million-dollar contract. In his second punt return, he bobbles it and then turns loose that marvelous speed. 68 yards for the touchdown. 7-0 and back to Dick.
Thank you, Brent. First down on the 43-yard line of the Cardinals. Carl Painter is the running back, number 26 for the Lions. Gagliano under pressure, and he's sacked back at midfield. Ken Harvey is coming off a great camp preseason. Ken Harvey is #1 draft pick. Dan, you mentioned all those #1s linebacking position. He may be the best.
Well, he's the only one playing so far today on normal defensive situations, but he really has. He's given Stallings a lot of production this year, and he was, if I can coin a phrase, second to none last year in sacks for the Cardinals.
It depends on how you spell it. If it's N-U-N-N, yes, you can use it. Second down and 16 following the loss. Here's Painter. Carl Painter carries and is down at the 40-yard line of the Cardinals. Eric Hill, rookie from LSU, and Cedric Mack making the stop on Painter. So you can wonder what it's going to be like when Barry Sanders and all his speed gets into the action.
You know, it's almost like a kickoff return every time. The offensive line appears to be like the wedge, and if the running back breaks through that wedge or the offensive line, he's got wide open field to run in. And the Lion coaches call that air. They want him to get out in that air and run around.
It's a tough play to defense because you have to worry about wide receivers, and if you get past that first line of defense, you're off to the races. Third down and 7 at the 40 of the Cardinals. 3-0 Detroit. And Gagliano calls a timeout. You see what the problem was there?
I think the problem was that this 45-second clock was down to just 3 seconds. Gagliano has a lot of shifting to do with his receivers. That time he knew he didn't have enough time to get the second guy going back the other way.
So a timeout by the Lions, their first of this first half. The Lions with the lead have held the ball for nearly 10.5 minutes of this first quarter. They have dominated the total offense.
Too bad they don't get a point for every yard.
You're right. Third down and 7. Gagliano has completed 4 of his 5 passes on third down thus far. For another, lost the ball. Picked up by a lineman. He cannot advance it, however, and they'll have to bring it back. That was Kevin Glover, the center. As the ball broke loose of Gagliano's throw, Freddie Joe Nunn made the hit and nearly had a sack on Gagliano.
They call it incomplete pass, 4th down. We're going to pick this flag up.
Eddie Murray, who has accounted for the points with a 30-yard field goal, was hoping he'd get another chance. So they roll it incomplete, and Jim Arnold will come in to boot it away. Arnold, the Pro Bowl kicker, led the conference last year.
That's really a break for Gagliano because he was close to getting sacked back there.
By Sikahema goes deep. What does Arnold want to do with Sikahema back there today?
Punt it high, let his men get down underneath it. Don't give Sikahema any chance of returning. He's a great one. They may even take a delay of game right here to move Arnold back 5 yards.
They have 22 seconds on the clock right now. It's a high kick. Question is it too long? And it goes into the end zone for a touchback. 40-yard kick, and Arnold did a pretty good job, but it didn't bounce his way. And so the Phoenix Cardinals will take over when we return to the Silverdome with Detroit leading 3-0. Pontiac Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. Dick Stockton and Dan Fouts. 2 minutes and 23 seconds remain in the first quarter. The Lions lead 3-0. They have had the ball for most of this first quarter. Now Gene Stallings will try to see how his ball control offense starts from the 20-yard line. Earl Farrell, the fullback, is at the top of your picture and comes in motion. Overthrew Roy Green. Jerry Holmes was the closest to him.
He wasn't even close on that one. That's 2 passes now that Hogaboom has been off the target. You notice him checking that wrist band. He's got a little cheat sheet there with some of his plays. The coaches will just signal to him a number. He'll look down very simply, look at the play, and then give a signal to the guys in the huddle.
Well, talking to him yesterday, he seemed like a guy who was hoping things would go well. He's filling some big shoes in Neil Lomax, and he says, this is my chance. I mean, he's been with the Cowboys and with the Colts. This is his opportunity, maybe his last, who knows.
Could be.
2nd down and 10. 6 defensive backs in there for the Detroit Lions. The pitch, Slump Mitchell. Penalty marker down. Mitchell dives for a couple. And there's another flag down. Benny Blades coming in from the secondary to make the stop. It'll be a holding call against the Cardinals. Their first penalty.
You get the feeling that the Cardinals can't do anything right now.
Holding number 67, 2nd down.
They had 3 plays in their first drive, and then they had to punt. Hogabooms have been off the mark. Speaking of Tom Tupa, he's a youngster that played very well. Very pleasant surprise for Gene Stallings in the preseason. But the heat is on Hogaboom right now. And he's got to get something going.
It's not in the realm of possibility that he could go to Tom Tupa today. He told us yesterday, he says, if the club isn't moving, he says, I may go to Tom Tupa. That's how impressive Tom was.
The Cardinals have got to overcome the hangover of the Lomax situation.
Hogaboom faces 2nd down and 20, back to the 10. Out of the shotgun. Penalty flag. And the Lions had jumped. Looked like Keith Ferguson, but we'll check and see.
Ball start, number 67, offense.
No, it's against the Cardinals, and it was Louis Sharp who drew him offside.
This is number 67, Louis Sharp, and Ferguson is just right on it. He's off with Sharp, not with the ball, and that's what he sees, and that's a case of a little bit of lack of concentration. Or maybe Louis had too big a dinner last night, Dick.
Well, you know what? All of the offensive linemen
took about 15 guys home to dinner
at Louis Sharp's house. He's from Detroit. Had a couple of turkeys.
Those fellas can eat.
They don't want to play like turkeys. Hogaboom in the end zone. Farrell, and he was trying to protect from an interception from Terry Taylor after he couldn't hold on to the ball. Good pressure by the Lions. Their defense has been a good story here. And there's a newcomer at cornerback, Terry Taylor, who was acquired from Seattle.
Yeah, what Terry Taylor gives the Lions is a legitimate bump and run cornerback. He's got that type of ability, something that Wayne Fonts wants in his defense, because he wants his defense to be more aggressive. What's that mean? That means they're going to go get after the quarterback with more blitzes. So when you blitz, you got to play man-to-man on the outside, preferably bump and run man-to-man.
3rd down and 25 from the 5. Hogaboom completes his first pass. J.T. Smith to the 20, the original line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up 4th down. So Gary Hogaboom has had to face, as he talks with Louis Sharp, who was penalized twice in that sequence, what has looked to us a vastly improved Detroit defense so far in this quarter, Dave.
They really are playing with a lot more emotion, and you know, maybe this restore the roar thing, I'm sure Fonts told his ball players, let's not disappoint this opening day crowd, however small it may be.
Rich Camarillo will kick. Mel Gray is back. Good kick by Camarillo. Nice and high. Gray at the 25 gets hit hard. Flags fly. He's down at the 37-yard line by Eric Hill. A 54-yard kick by Camarillo. Fred Wyant.
Number 55, illegal block in the back. First down.
That was Michael Kofer, and so it'll be a first down, and we'll set it back. Well, we have the finals of the U.S. Open Tennis Championship coming up later today. Yvonne Lendl and Boris Becker. Who do you like in that?
I like Yvonne Lendl, not only because he's the #1 seed, but he has a way of rising to the occasion at this arena here at back in New York. And Becker, though, you know, this may be his turn. He played awfully well at Wimbledon.
Well, he wishes all of them were grass, isn't he?
Oh, he's awesome.
Lendl against Becker. Should be a great one coming up later today on CBS. First and 10 on the 27 for the Lions with 29 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Lions lead 3-0. 3 seconds on the clock. And they don't get it off in time. There'll be a delay of the game penalty against Detroit. Looked like Gagliano.
Well, there's really no excuse for that. Yeah.
Offense, 5 yards, first down.
There are two 30-second clocks in this arena, one at each end. And the quarterback's main job as he breaks that huddle is to find out how much time he's got to get the ball off. And I think the Gagliano that time just wasn't quite sure, didn't look at that clock. That's the time left in the first quarter. The 30-second clocks are, they're not in as good a position as that clock is. They're kind of off to the corner.
He waited a long time, though, at the line, and it looked like everything was in still motion, including Richard Johnson, who had gone in motion. So it's first and 15. Tony Page is the running back. Gagliano. Well, run, he's got some room. Roland Mitchell chases him out of bounds, just 2 yards shy of a first down. Alert quarterbacking by Gagliano, and one of the reasons he's in there is because he has run this run and shoot offense before.
And he takes care of the ball. He will not throw the ball where there's no chance of getting the completion. He has run it before with the Denver Gold when Mouse Davis was the head coach there. And one of the reasons, you know, you talked about he thought he was going to be a player coach when he came to training camp. Well, before this last cut, he told me that he felt that he didn't know if he was going to make the team. And now he turns out to be the starter on opening day.
And with the lead right now, 3-0. 19 seconds to go in the quarter. Second down and 2. The Lion 35. On the draw, Page. Tony Page. First down up to the 40-yard line. Eric Hill making the tackle, and that may be the last play of this first quarter. So the Lion fans, 40,000 strong here, has seen the Lions take the lead, and their defense has been impressive. And that is the end of the first quarter here in Pontiac with the score. The Detroit Lions 3 and the Phoenix Cardinals 0. This is the roof of the Pontiac Silverdome. And as we start the second quarter, opening day of the NFL season on CBS Sports, the Detroit Lions lead the Phoenix Cardinals 3-0. Story has been so far, with all the hoopla about the Detroit offense, and we'll get into that a little more, has been the Lions defense.
Or the lack of the Phoenix offense. They are really out of sync so far in this first half.
I knew an offensive guy like you would look at it that way. First and 10 on the 40 of the Lions. Gagliano going deep to Troy Johnson. And it's nearly intercepted. Roland Mitchell had the best shot at it. What is the stretch offense that the Detroit Lions, the run and shoot, call it what you will?
Well, we're going to see XR, WR, YR, ZR. Those are all receivers. Now, the SB is the tailback. Why they call him an SB? Well, the S stands for super. That's the S back there. Well, with Tony Page in there, it maybe stand for the slow back because he only runs a 5.1. But when they get Sanders, well, then it really does become the S back. But the stretch offense stretches out the entire defense, both width of the field and length of the field.
And even if you're a slow back, you can get some good yardage, as we've seen thus far. 2nd down and 10. Gagliano on the run. Penalty marker down. The pass to Chadwick is incomplete. And a flag down at the line of scrimmage. We have had a rash of penalties in this one, and it'll be holding against Detroit.
And we're seeing these holding penalties being called by the line judge on each side of the field instead of the umpire, and that's because the guys on the
Holding, number 75, first down.
That's because the guys on the exterior of the line, like Lomas Brown, the left tackle, we're going to check him out right now. He's working against Ken Harvey. Harvey, nice spin move there, and Lomas has him with both hands.
By the way, David Galloway has gone to the dressing room, an x-ray of his hand. He has been injury prone. There he is right now. They've already had the x-rays. And Jim Waller, number 4 round pick out of UCLA, number 66, has replaced him. 2nd down and 20 with Carl Painter now in the backfield. And the Cardinals read that well. They were looking for that kind of a delay, and Painter is stopped at the 32, gain of a couple by Eric Hill. There's Barry Sanders still waiting to get his chance, and there's Dave Levy.
Dave is a former coach with me back in San Diego, where he was our offensive coordinator and also running back coach. He worked out with Barry Sanders before the game this morning on the big bag, teaching him how to block, because he's not sure that Barry Sanders even knows how to block. This is his first time in a Detroit Lion uniform, also his first time in pads.
So he hasn't blocked, and of course he hasn't taken a hit. I hope he can protect the ball. Down in 17. Gagliano. Little high for Chadwick, who was hit immediately by the rookie Jay Taylor. And that'll bring up 4th down. It's the left hand, by the way, on David Galloway that they x-rayed.
You would think an injury to one of their only their two defensive ends would hurt the Cardinals, but what they have is they have the ability to move Ken Harvey to a defensive end spot, and they're really playing those ends today as they were outside linebackers.
Jim Arnold will kick, and Vi Sikahema goes deep for the Cardinals. We also have seen Eric Hill, their number 1 draft pick out of LSU, come in as the 2nd linebacker with Galloway out of there. Booming punt by Arnold. A great one. Sikahema back to the 10. Can't break one, and is stopped at the 21-yard line by Victor Jones. A 56-yard kick by Arnold. And so early here in the 2nd quarter, we'll be back. Detroit still leading. In our game summary, look at the Detroit Lions. They have outgained the Phoenix Cardinals by nearly 100 yards. The only score, Ed Murray with a 30-yard field goal, and the time of possession favors the Lions 12.5 minutes to under 4. It's 3-0 in favor of Detroit with 13:44 to go in the 2nd quarter. And Dan, you wonder what the Cardinals wanted to play a ball control game, but basically when you don't have the ball, you can't control anything.
Not only that, their field position has been terrible, and we see them again. They're starting around their 20-yard line. So the two things that run and shoot has done so far is it's kept the Cardinal offense off the field, and it's forced bad field position.
One thing it has done too, I think the fans love it. I mean, I think already the fans are excited about it.
No doubt about that. There's a real electricity in this park.
1st and 10 at the 21 for the Cardinals. Stump Mitchell. Mitchell for a couple. He underwent shoulder surgery in the offseason. Giving it a go. New Orleans leading Dallas in the 2nd quarter as we bring you up to date on the CBS Sports Wire with scores.
And surgeries when you're 30 years old is a lot different than when you're 20, obviously. You get a little bit older, it takes longer to rehabilitate, but Mitchell has rehabilitated himself. Had a good game last week against the Chargers in the final preseason game. I expect big things from him again this year.
Jim Schaffner, the offensive coordinator. 2nd down and 7. Earl Farrell. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 as Jerry Ball, outstanding nose tackle, making the stop.
Well, Earl Farrell is one of the best, if not the best, pure fullbacks in all of football. Big guy, about 250 pounds, and he really has the power to make the yardage behind that huge offensive line, the wide bodies. When you add his 250 to some of those 300-pounders up front, it's quite a push.
We talked to him yesterday. Looked like an offensive lineman coming into the room.
Well, a little bit shorter. He's only about 6 feet tall. Those offensive linemen are huge, though. When they walked in the room shrank.
3rd down and 5, and this is known as trips. They have 3 wide receivers to the right. 3rd and 5 at the 26. Out of the shotgun. Oglebu completes to Smith. That'll be a 1st down for the Cardinals to the 37-yard line. J.T. Smith stopped by Jerry Holmes.
That's really a good feeling for the quarterback. This is his best pass of the day so far. He really got it on a line out there to JT. Good job of looking to the strong side where they had those 3 wide receivers. Came back and found that Smith had single coverage against Jerry Holmes, and Hogeboom threw his first strike of the day.
The last 3 years, J.T. Smith has caught more passes than any other wide receiver in the NFL. Maybe more catches than any player in the league. 1st down at the 37. Oglebu. Great catch by Smith, and a few extra yards to boot, and J.T. Smith has the Cardinals in Lion territory. A 24-yard gain and the deepest penetration for Phoenix. Benny Blades on the tackle.
This is really a fine throw. Although it was high, it's the only place it could have been thrown to be complete, because you see the coverage of Spielman right there, and a great grab, and not very good tackling though there by William White, who's starting his first game of the year for the Lions.
3 catches, 50 yards for J.T. Smith, picking up where he left off. 1st down, Cardinals on the Lion 39. Oglebu. Farrell out of the backfield, and a good stop by Blades.
Cardinals are getting their rhythm now. Hogeboom has been on the target now the last 3 times, and they have run the ball effectively. I'm sure they got a stern talking to on the sidelines from Gene Stallings, and this is not a good sign for the Cardinal fans at all. Earl Farrell looks like he's got a bit of an ankle or a knee there on that left side.
Ron Wolfley will take his place, number 24, as Farrell is shaken up and leaves the game. Wolfley did not play at all in preseason, had a sprained arch. Special teams performer. There he goes in motion. It'll be 2nd down and 5 on the 34-yard line. Stump Mitchell is stopped as the Lions. Jerry Ball again with terrific play. No gain will bring up 3rd down and 5.
Jerry Ball will make some terrific plays for you from that nose guard position. Former 49er nose guard center Randy Cross, now working with us at CBS, he told me that after working with Michael Carter every day in practice, the 49ers great nose guard, that he feels that Jerry Ball is second to Carter, if not his equal.
Wayne Fonte said yesterday, he says maybe the quickest nose tackle we have seen.
For 300 pounds, very, very quick.
Curtis Green, number 62, comes in for the Lions defense. 3rd down and 5. They haven't thrown to Roy Green yet. He's in motion. And the pass to Novacek. He holds on, but I think he's short of a 1st down by about a yard. And another fine play by William White. And that Lions secondary, vulnerable last year, has come on strong. Now they're talking about where the ball is spotted, and that'll mean everything here.
It's going to be just a little bit short, though. Bring up the 4th down. But the Cardinals took a page out of the Lions playbook that time, putting a couple guys in motion, then coming back to the 3 receiver side and running a little bit of a pick play there to get Novacek open. The problem with, though, was that they needed about 6 yards. They came up with 5.5.
They're going to go for it on 4th down. 4th and 1. Tony Jordan and Ron Wolfley are in there. Jordan has been their short yardage back. He can leap the line. 4th and 1. There he goes, and he may have it. Jordan in his 2nd year has the 1st down for the Cardinals.
Cardinals are real unique with their offense in short yardage and goal line. You saw how quickly they got that play off. Well, Stallings told us yesterday that he doesn't want the defense to be sitting there, getting dug in, getting good traction, and getting good recognition of what the offense might do. Boy, Hogeboom came up that time, snapped the ball almost as soon as he got under center.
But I think you made a good point. and that is that for the first time in the game, we have seen the Phoenix offense in sync. Hogeboom completed 5 consecutive passes, and they still have it. First down on the Lion 28. Hogeboom, wide open is Awalt. Robert Awalt is knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line by Terry Taylor. Wide open was Awalt, and a 24-yard gain to one of the best receiving tight ends in the league.
Well, the Lions are in a blitz situation here, and Hogeboom reads it, and he has a piece of candy here. That's Benny Blades coming on the blitz, and there's nobody for Awalt. My question, though, is if Awalt has healed ribs and is feeling good about himself, wouldn't he cut that back inside and try to get in the end zone, maybe lower his shoulder? I have to believe that those ribs are giving him some problems.
Wearing a flak jacket underneath. First and goal at the 4. Cardinals trailing 3-0, looking to go ahead. Wolfley, that was not a good handoff by Hogeboom as Wolfley was ahead of him. And a loss on the play. Jimmy Williams on the stop.
Jimmy Williams gets great penetration, number 59 on this side of the screen here, and this is a bad handoff, almost a fumble, and if Williams had been there an instant sooner, it would have been a fumble. But that's the problem you have when you bring in the second string fullback, Wolfley, for the first string guy, Earl Farrell.
Farrell went out with an injured leg or ankle. There is Williams, who had the starting role last year, got hurt. Jameson replaced him, and now George Jameson is hurt. Second and goal at the 5. Novacek in, 2 tight ends for the Cardinals on the 5. Hogeboom. And Green was not looking. Covering on the play for the Lions is James Griffin, the dime back, and that'll bring up 3rd and goal.
Well, the guy in Hogeboom's face that time was Benny Blades. He was burned earlier when he blitzed and nobody covered Awalt. This time they did get the coverage. James Griffin came over on Roy Green, and that's why we had that incompletion. Good pressure, though, from Benny Blades.
The Lions' defense inside the 20 were next to last in the league last year. They allowed 42 scores in 47 possessions. And now the Cardinals have a 3rd and goal at the Lion 5. Stump Mitchell. And it's Benny Blades again. I think the Lions are going to improve on that statistic this year, Dan.
Well, they're going to keep him from getting a touchdown this time. He's going to come from the outside now, again on a blitz. Here he is, number 36. Nobody there to block him. And he just dropped Stump Mitchell for a huge loss. And now they're restoring the roar, Benny Blades style.
A 29-yard field goal attempt. Al Del Greco with Hogeboom holding will try to tie it up for the Phoenix Cardinals. And the kick is good, but the Lions have to feel good about themselves. They stopped the Cardinals on 1st and goal at the 4, but Del Greco ties it up. 3-3 here in the second quarter. 5 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the first half as the Cardinals just tied the Lions on Al Del Greco's field goal. Al Del Greco will be kicking off, and Mel Gray goes deep for the Lions. Lions have not returned a kickoff for a touchdown in 7 years, and that's why they got Gray, formerly of the Saints. Here he is on the 2. Gray squeezes his way out to the 23-yard line where Ilya Jaraschuk makes the stop, and on the bench Earl Farrell being tended to.
And even more important than the tape job he's getting is the expression on his face. He knows he's in pain there, and he's not quite sure if all that tape they're laying on that ankle is going to do the job. He also has a blue knee brace on his left knee, so he has had some problems with that left side.
Awalt caught a 24-yard pass that set the Cardinals up, but they did not score the touchdown. They held the ball for 13 plays, but managed to get a field goal out of it to tie it up. Cardinals had the ball for only 6 plays in the first quarter. They've doubled that already here in the second. David Galloway back in there for the Cardinals. Number 65 at defensive end. Gagliano on 1st down. dropped by Richard Johnson. He was wide open near midfield.
This has been a problem for the Lions all year long. Drop passes. We've already seen a couple so far today. Oh, Wayne Fonts is feeling it. That was a great throw by Gagliano. It looked like it was behind the receiver, but when he's throwing in between the zones like that, sometimes that will happen. The receiver has got to make that grab. That would have been a big play for the Lions.
And if they keep dropping those passes, Gagliano's going to go back to firefighting school where he started courses.
Looking for a job any way he can.
He almost became a firefighter now.
He may have the fire to put out here today.
Right. He's missed 4 in a row now. Not his fault, though. The last one, as we saw, 2nd and 10. Gagliano getting away from pressure, can't. He's caught from behind, and it was Galloway. So Galloway, who left the game early to have his left hand x-rayed, comes back in and gets a sack for the Cardinals.
Well, those big guys don't need hands anyway. They get so much tape wrapped around their fingers and everything that, you know, they're more like clubs than anything. And when you're a big guy like Galloway coming in on a little scrawny little quarterback, all you have to do is blow on them. Sometimes they go down.
Galloway had been injured the last 2 seasons, looking forward to an injury-free year this season, and now in the first game.
He thought he got over the hump in the preseason, but now first half of the first game he gets nicked.
3rd and 9 at the 25 of the Lions. In trouble again. And down, and the penalty marker is down. All of a sudden, the rookie Mike Utley jumped on Bob Clasby. Freddie Joe Nunn was the guy who got to Gagliano, and a penalty flag is down.
And meanwhile, back at the farm, Utley and Clasby were going at it pretty good there. But let he who is out without sin throw the first stone.
I read that somewhere.
Yeah. Take a look at it, try to figure it. Here's Clasby just hanging around, and Malinchik comes in and cuts him down. There's where the fight starts. And then Utley jumps on the back of Clasby, but it's Malinchik who came, and I'd have to consider that a bit of a cheap shot. There's a referee who, very brave soul, jumping in a pile there with all kinds of big guys. That's Ron Bochin, the umpire today.
Fred Wyatt sorting it out for us. Jerry Bergman, the head linesman.
This is going to be an interesting call because we're not quite sure if the referee saw the shot from Malinchik onto Clasby's knee there.
The sack was an 11-yard loss.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 74. He is rejected from the game.
Wow. And they have thrown out Joe Malinchik, and Wayne Fonts is furious. He's on the field and is told by Fred Wyatt, step back on the white line.
I have never seen that before. An ejection in a football game. I don't think I've seen one in many, many years, but for an illegal block like that, that tells me the NFL is trying to crack down against cheap shots and injuries like that could have caused, but I'm not sure that that warrants being kicked out of the entire game, though. Amazing call.
Normally, when they have an out-and-out fight with punches thrown, then they may do that, and even then they don't. Let's see.
Watch number 74 circle all the way around here. He had been blocking on Clasby originally, but now he's coming in and going right for the knee. Wow.
So Malinchik is out of the game. The starting right guard for the Lions is gone. He is mad. Furious as well, as we saw, was Wayne Fonts, and it is 4th down, and Jim Arnold will have to kick from the end zone. And Ernie Jones is back deep for the Cardinals. Cardinals are looking at good field position in a 3-3 game. Another great kick from Arnold. Jones on his 30. And Jim Arnold showing that Pro Bowl form, and Jones is down at the 42-yard line by William White. A 64-yard kick, but Joe Malinchik is seething inside.
Whoa. Still on the bench.
Pontiac Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, suburb of Detroit. Cardinals and the Lions are tied 3-3 with that much time remaining in the second quarter. Contrast from the first and second quarters, but the Lions defense stopped the Cardinals on a 3-3 game. Joe Malinchek has been ejected, starting right guard for the Lions. And that has caused a furor here in Michigan. First and 10 for the Cardinals on the 42. Screen pass to J.T. Smith, and he may have picked up a first down. Into Lion territory at the 48, Terry Taylor made the stop.
You know, Dick, in baseball, which I know you're very familiar, when you get tossed out of the ball game, you got to go to the showers, right? Well, here's Malinchek still on the sidelines, and I'm not sure what the procedure is. It's been so long since I've seen anybody kicked out of a ball game, but I would think that they'd have to, you know, turn the water on for him.
Isn't it unusual that someone gets kicked out in a game that is relatively free of temper flare-ups?
Well, that was a very unusual call.
First down at the 47 of the Lions. Ron Wolfley, the fullback, in motion. Pitch to Snub Mitchell, going outside. Penalty flag is down, and Mitchell is ridden out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Let's see if we have a holding penalty against the Cardinals.
Holding, number 67. First down.
Well, you heard the call by Fred Wyand, and you heard the editorial comment by Louis Sharp.
Yeah, and Luis just letting his family know he's got about 80 tickets or so today for the folks here in Detroit that he really wasn't holding. Come on, Mom, you got to believe me, ain't you?
That's the third time that he's been hit with a penalty. By the way, the NFL rule is that if you're ejected from the game, you have to leave the premises, and so the NFL is going to make sure that Mr. Malinchek heads for the dressing room.
I wouldn't want to be the guy that has to escort him off the field, though, would you?
Be a former lineman, I would think. First down and 20, Cardinals on their 43. 3:20 to go in the first half. Play fake. Hogaboom to Green. Nearly made the catch. He was double covered by Holmes and White. And that's the first time they've gone Roy Green's way today.
Lions really need a big game out of Jerry Holmes. Watch this play as he reaches right over the top, avoids any contact there with Roy Green, and breaks up the pass.
In all fairness to Roy Green, as you look at Holmes, is that the plan for Wayne Fontes is to double cover Roy Green. He is perhaps the most explosive threat that the Cardinals have in their offensive artillery.
And on the other side of that coin, Dick, is the fact that J.T. Smith, although a great possession wide receiver, doesn't have the speed to get deep. Roy Green still possesses some of that jet stream.
Smith has caught 4 passes for 60 yards already. Awalt with a fine catch gets back to the original line of scrimmage, the 48 of the Lions, where he is stopped by Chris Spielman and Michael Kofer. We haven't mentioned Michael Kofer's name much today, as the Cardinals have kept that great rushing linebacker at bay.
Well, he made the Pro Bowl last year. He is an outstanding linebacker, great physical specimen, tremendous size. He's got the Darth Vader look. And yesterday, can you believe a guy like that is trying to sell me real estate? That's his hobby. He buys homes and sells them. I guess that's what you do when your hobby's real estate, huh?
Fixes them up.
He'd be a great landlord, wouldn't he?
Gave us his business card on his way out. 3rd and 9 at the 47. Pressure on Hogaboom, batted in the air by Blades. Benny Blades is having an all-pro kind of first half today.
Well, you know, he was the first-round pick last year for these Lions, and he has really turned out some great plays for us today. Horatio Benedict Blades.
And he said his mother hated that name. What happened?
His father named him. I think his mother has got something there. I mean, Horatio Benedict. At least they shortened it to Benny.
It'll be 4th down, and Rich Camarillo will kick it. Lions were trying to block. We have a marker down, and we may have running into the kicker flag. The ball is stopped at the 1 by the Cardinals. Camarillo went down, and we're going to have a roughing or running into the kicker call against the Detroit Lions. They were coming in to get a piece of it. Make no mistake about it.
Now this really hurts too, because the Lions had done a good job of gaining the momentum back for their football team. They were going to give the Silver Stretch the ball with 2 minutes to go.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, number 21, 15, first down.
Terry Taylor,
Coming from the right side of the screen is Terry Taylor, and this is roughing the kicker. This is the big one, 15 yards, and we'll take a look right here. Great effort trying to lay out for that ball, but he got all of Camarillo.
That's the 6th penalty for over 50 yards by the Lions today, and it gives the Cardinals a new life.
It really does. It sets them up down there in the 32-yard line, and they got 2 minutes now to get at least 3 points on the board.
2:08 exactly remaining in the first half. Ogaboom. Great catch, Roy Green with his first of the day inside the 15, and that was a thread the needle throw by Ogaboom, a gain of 19. Terry Taylor made the stop, and the 2-minute warning is upon us here at the Silverdome, with the Cardinals threatening in a tie game.
Well, how do you play wide receiver in the NFL for over 11 years? This is how you do it. You catch the ball over the middle. Ogaboom really throws a nice ball here, but it's low and it's between people. The concentration from Roy Green is outstanding.
Ogaboom has completed 8 of 11 for those 100-plus yards in Detroit with minus passing yardage, so the Cardinals are really getting their pass rush going here in the second quarter.
The one thing that the Lions defensive coaches were afraid about is that Ogaboom's a streaky passer. He's on a hot streak now.
Well, their quality receivers are coming into their own. The Lions' inexperienced wideouts have dropped a couple. First and 10 on the 13 on the draw. Ron Wolfley is tackled from behind by Benny Blades. So our 2-minute warning is gone by. The Lions have 2 timeouts left. Cardinals have all 3 of theirs.
And one thing the Cardinals want to do is use up as much of this clock as possible. They do have 3 timeouts remaining, so they're in great shape here. This is absolutely the best situation a quarterback or an offense could be in.
Kind of an unusual game. Cardinals have always been a prolific offensive team, and the Lions, with the Silver Stretch trying to get something going. J.T. Smith with his 5th catch of the game is down at the 6-yard line. Will bring up 3rd down. The clock continues to run, close to a minute to go. Dennis Gibson on the stop.
You know, I get the feeling that the Cardinals offense, they're a very proud group. They've got a number of outstanding veteran football players on their team, a big, strong offensive line. They run a traditional NFL passing offense and one of the best in the game. Maybe they're trying to send a message across the field to this Silver Stretch Ball Club that, hey, this is how you do it in the NFL.
And they're making Ogaboom do it. They're winning around him necessarily. They're not making him carry it all himself. 3rd and 3 on the 6. Ernie Jones and Novacek have checked in for the Cardinals. Out of the shotgun. Ogaboom's pass out of the end zone intended for Novacek. And he was covered back there by William White, the free safety, and doing a good job at it.
This is one of the most difficult areas for a quarterback, especially a new quarterback working with a new set of receivers. The touch pass, where you've got to really just dunk it in over the top of a defender in a small field like that. That time Ogaboom just let it go a little bit too far for the 6'5" Novacek.
This will be a 23-yard attempt. Ogaboom holding for Al Del Greco, who kicked a 29-yarder earlier here in the second quarter. That kick is good, and the Cardinals lead for the first time. So the roughing the kicker penalty gave Phoenix new life, and they took advantage of it for a 6-3 lead. It is a defensive battle here in the first half. At Pontiac, the Phoenix Cardinals lead the Detroit Lions 6-3 with 33 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And on the sidelines, Joe Malinchik, who has been ejected from the game, is still on the sidelines. The rule is that he has to be off the field, but there he is.
But the guy on the sidelines that I'm looking at is Barry Sanders. Coaches for the Detroit Lions told us if the game is close, we might see Sanders today. Well, you can't get much closer than 6-3.
There's Sanders, itching to get his first NFL action after signing the other day. $9 million man. Mel Greco will be kicking off. Mel Gray is deep for the Lions. And it's headed over to the side. Jerry Woods, rookie from Northern Michigan, returns it to the 22, and a penalty marker is down with 26 seconds to go.
Illegal block in the back, number 90, 10 yards, first down.
Rookie Keith Karpinski of Penn State. Coming up at halftime, the NFL Today, Brent Nerve will have scores and highlights. It's bigger than the office pool, and it's legal. Pat O'Brien has a story of Oregon's new football lottery that's coming up at halftime on the NFL Today. And an Oregon native and a web foot in his own right is Mr. Francis.
Well, no comment on the lottery, but I will give you a score from the Great Northwest. University of Oregon 35, the University of California 19. Go Ducks.
Okay. Good. Looking at it from the end zone, Carl Painter is the running back. 1st and 10 from the 12. On the delay, Painter. Tim McDonald missed him, and Painter got out to the 16-yard line. Clock is running, and you knew you weren't going to see Barry Sanders that deep in Lion territory, and they're just going to let it run out.
You bet. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Sanders in the second half. I don't think the Lions can beat the Cardinals without him.
There's the gun, and that is the end of the first half. So I don't know about the silver stretch, but that Lion defense showed us something, and the Cardinals are getting synced up. That's the end of the first half with the score. The Cardinals 6 and the Lions 3.
A first, Deion Sanders, wearing the uniform of a New York Yankee, slams a home run in Seattle earlier in the week, signs his contract with the Atlanta Falcons, returns punts for the Falcons today against the Los Angeles Rams, and becomes the first athlete in history ever to hit a major league home run and score a touchdown in 1 week. Irv Cross, he is Mr. Excitement.
Well, it's really fantastic, Brent. I talked to one of the Falcon coaches last night, and he says Deion has great speed and great quickness, but he's not in football shape yet. He can't take a blow.
Well, he hasn't been hit yet.
Not yet.
Let's take you to the scoreboard now and get you up to date. The Saints, and they're making it look rather easily over the Dallas Cowboys and Troy Aikman right now, 21-0. Jimmy Johnson had a very successful preseason. Welcome to the regular season. And they have scored with Hilliard. They've also returned a punt for a touchdown. And you can hear the cries of "Who Dat" all over Bourbon Street, Mr. Cross.
It's amazing, Brent. You know, last night in talking to some of the Saint coaches, they were really concerned about their team being out of sync. Now here, it's a punt return for a score.
That's the last one that they put up. 3 touchdowns against that Cowboy defense. 21-0. And you know, the man with the hat, Tom Landry, used to be very successful on opening Sundays. The 49ers and the Colts, and the 49ers right now are up by a field goal in that one. The Rams, and let's take a look at some of the action from that Indianapolis game, Irv. There's the noise meter. Roger Craig scoring for the 49ers, and Chris Chandler to Billy Brooks. They called him down in this sequence. What about it, Irv?
But thank goodness for the instant replay, because this one was overruled, and you'll see why in a minute. They called him down on the 1-yard line, but when they ran it back on replay, watch where the ball lands. Breaks the plane of the goal line. Touchdown.
All right, so they gave the Colts the touchdown in that one, and that has them close right now to the 49ers, trailing by only a field goal. We showed you Atlanta's only no, check that. They just scored again. Just moments ago, the Falcons put in a... Did Deion return another punt, boys? No, they tell me he did not, but they lead it 14-10, and they bust one for 53 yards. So the long play now has the Falcons ahead of the Rams in that one. Cincinnati and Chicago, the Bears and Mike Tomczak not moving the ball. Tampa Bay and Green Bay here. The Bucs looking good. Vinny Testaverde has 1 touchdown and no interceptions. Phoenix and Detroit, and of course the battle of field goals, 6-3. And right after our football coverage on CBS, we're going to bring you the U.S. Open final between Yvonne Lindell and Boris Becker. Should be a good one. Right now, we'll come back with more right after these messages from your local stations.
Educating Arizona, a new Center 10 special project beginning September 11th.
Welcome back to the New York studio. You know, the start of a new football season is always an exciting time, but the state of Oregon has sweetened the pot this year. They've given fans a chance to win or lose a little money legally. And our Pat O'Brien is in Oregon, where he's been checking out the state's new sports action game.
Football. Mary Carpenter of Troutdale, Oregon is doing something she's never done before. she's placing a bet on professional football.
Sold America.
For $1, Mary owns 4 games today.
Green Bay, Buffalo, Philadelphia, and Minnesota.
Mary's not alone. Football lottery has arrived in the Pacific Northwest, and the Pacific Northwest loves it.
Oregon Lottery, could you hold, please?
No play action, but a shot. Touchdown!
I'm from Seattle, so I like to watch the Seahawks and LA Rams.
Chicago Bears.
Brian Bosworth. Ow! That's right.
You can pick from 4 to 14 games here. Spend from $1 to $20 a ticket. For $1, if you win 4, that's $8. Beat the point spreads on all 14 games, $8,000. The people here are hoping to raise $9 million annually for local collegiate sports and scholarships. They've already raised the interest in the game.
We have people talking about injury lists, weather reports, point spreads are comparing our line to the Nevada line on a day-by-day basis. So it's really created a lot of interest in the game, a lot more interest.
Big letters. Football lottery failed in Delaware in 1976, but in 1989, the experts in Las Vegas believe the time is right for those dollar lotto folks.
Basically, it's the old story. Where do you think the money for sports betting should go? Should it go to buy an illegal bookmaker a new Cadillac, or should it go to support intercollegiate athletics in Oregon? I think the answer is pretty easy.
We're concerned about the domino theory. We're concerned that other states will start their own lotteries, creating a whole new generation of gamblers, a whole new group of sports fans betting on our games.
The river that runs through Portland flows ironically to the north, where football allegiances around here have long rested with the Seattle Seahawks. But now, with this little card, football allegiances and $1 here, $1 there will flow in every direction.
Up and down the Willamette River, people tell us they love the idea. Their favorite betting team, the 49ers. And you can bet they'll be watching differently.
I think it's going to get the borderline people that didn't really follow football that much before. There's a lot of betting going on. You know that in football. But it's going to get the housewife that she's going to think, hey, I can sit there and pick a few like my husband has done.
Yeah, we think we might have a winner.
Which brings us back to Mary Carpenter, who is watching today with the remote control in one hand, that ticket in another. $8,000 buys a lot of groceries. Pat O'Brien, CBS Sports, Orient, Oregon.
What's your feeling, Art?
Well, I think it's long overdue, really. I think a lottery like this is managed by the state, gives people a legitimate outlet to go ahead and wager on games. They're doing it anyway. You know, it's overdue.
All right, let's send you back to the stadium now and the game you're enjoying on CBS.
Halftime at Pontiac, Michigan. The Cardinals lead the Lions 6-3. And CBS Sports coverage of NFL football will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
Of the National Football League is sponsored by Diet Coke. You're going to drink it just for the taste of it. Federal Express, the best way to ship it over there. And by Allstate, for home, auto, and life insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Back here at Pontiac, Michigan, where the Phoenix Cardinals lead the Detroit Lions 6-3 at the halftime. Dick Stockton along with Dan Fouts. And Dan, when you played, you were great at finishing drives, getting in the end zone for the 6 points. And so far we have seen the Cardinals stall in the Lions in preseason. What does it take to go in and get that touchdown?
Well, it's really a belief that you can do it, number one, but it also takes big plays by big play players. You know, you got to have the catch in the end zone. You got to have the great run. You got to have great pass blocking or maybe a great throw. Right now, there's a lot of uncertainty from both teams in that department.
Cardinals look like they were coming on in the second quarter. What do you see from maybe the Lions offensively in the second?
Well, I want to see Barry Sanders, number one. I think that he'll give them the lift that they need, the spark that they need. They're not doing anything since that first quarter.
All right, let's take a look now at the halftime statistics. As Barry Sanders is primed in case his number is called. Detroit has the edge on the ground, the Cardinals in the air and overall, but look at the difference in the total plays between the first and second quarters. Almost like two different games, and on the board, not much scoring, and Phoenix has the lead 6-3.
And Hogaboom really looks smooth now. He had a rocky start, bad field position, but he got settled down there. He threw the ball very well, and the Cardinals moved the ball down the field. But the big play at the end of the first half was the roughing the penalty against Terry Taylor that gave the ball back to the Cardinals and gave them the chance to go down and get 3 more points.
There's Barry Sanders. We had a chance to talk to him. What were your impressions? I mean, he's not a big guy, but he seems powerful. The derriere seems to be where the power comes from.
Well, he's got great legs, too. Those thighs are as big as my Well, not as big as my waist, as big as I would like my waist to be, perhaps. But he is a very powerful young man, very humble, too. You know, he made a lot of money there in a very short amount of time. You know what he's went out and bought with his first paycheck? A Japanese car. Does he know that?
I love that here.
Does he know that his owner makes an American-style car?
He has enough money to buy several of them, and hopefully some of them will be American cars. But his parents are here. Barry Sanders, of course, the Heisman Trophy winner, and who decided to forego his senior year. And actually, when you look at the Lions offense and how much they need him, is that the Lions scored last year 16 touchdowns fewer than what Barry Sanders scored in his junior year at Oklahoma State.
That's an amazing statistic. And with this offense, once he gets comfortable and once he gets in shape, football shape that is, he'll score a lot of touchdowns for the Detroit Lions.
Cardinals will receive, however, as we start the second half. Gene Stallings told us last night, he says, you know, we might have lost 5 games at the end of last year to finish 7-9. As Sikahema lines up along with Ernie Jones. Sikahema on the left, Jones on the right. Rubbing the ball up again is Murray, as he did when the game started.
As if he needs it. He's got one of the strongest legs in all of football, but what that does, it just gives him a little bit better feel for the ball, and he'll really send it.
He's accounted for the 3 points for the Lions. Del Greco with 2 field goals for the Cardinals. By Sikahema at the 5. Works his way up to the 27-yard line. Carl Painter making the tackle. So Gary Hogaboom, who is 10 of 17 for 127 yards. He has had his injury problems in the past, and he's taking over for Neil Lomax, who is upstairs. He was working on the field before the game, so the specter of Lomax still exists for the Cardinals, who are starting really a new era with Hogaboom and Tom Tupa backing him up. First down on the 27 for the Cardinals. Stump Mitchell gets the call, finds a hole up the middle, and is stopped by William White, and he prevented Mitchell from getting a first down. The tackle at the 35.
You talked about the injury problems that Hogaboom has had. He's dislocated this right elbow 3 times. And for a quarterback, that is really tough to overcome. But he wears that sleeve, gives him a little bit of warmth, and you know how he dislocated a couple times trying to make a tackle after interceptions.
2nd and 2. That 8-yard run was the longest of the day for the Cardinals. Stump Mitchell gets hit, but not before he gets first down yardage beyond the 40-yard line. So they go with Mitchell here on the first 2 plays. There's Neil Lomax in the middle. He has that arthritic hip, not going to play this year, maybe never again in his career. And what are your thoughts of his presence here with Phoenix?
Well, I like the fact that he's up in the booth. He's away from the players, because when he's on the field, the players are looking at him and wondering, well, what if? What if Neil could play? And that's not the proper situation. They've got to direct all their attention to, hey, Gary Hogaboom is our quarterback now.
Does he like mustard and relish on his hot dog? I don't know that. 1st and 10 at the 42 of the Cardinals. Again, they go to Mitchell. He's carried the ball 3 straight times and gets tripped up and is stopped short of midfield. Chris Spielman on the stop. The word on Earl Farrell. He has an injured left ankle, and he is out for the game. Meanwhile, Eric Williams is shaken up for the Lions. Their starting defensive left end. So Farrell is lost for the game, and we'll take a timeout as the Lions defense has a man down. We'll be back.
Well, Eric Williams is still down on the field. We're going to see how he gets hurt. This is number 24, Craig Wolfley. He's coming in motion. He's going to block Williams, but I want you to keep your eye on this left ankle. Here's the motion. Wolfley gets into him to begin with, but now he's going to roll and land on this ankle. This is either an ankle injury or a knee injury to the left leg, and Williams is still down.
He'll be replaced by Curtis Green. Saints lead the Cowboys in Jimmy Johnson's debut 21-0 at halftime. The Colts are giving the 49ers a run 13-10 in the 3rd quarter inside in Indianapolis. Rams in Atlanta are at halftime with LA leading 17-14. Cincinnati and Chicago at Soldier Field are all tied 7-7. also at the half. Tampa Bay ahead of Green Bay 20-7. Tampa Bay was impressive in preseason, and they've kept it going into the first game of this regular season.
That's a bit of a surprise playing up there in Green Bay that Tampa Bay comes out with such a big lead.
This is the first game of the year. We've had a couple of injuries. Earl Farrell is gone for the game, and Eric Williams is trying to see what his problem is. We have not had any turnovers, which could mark an early game. No turnovers by either team, but we have had 10 penalties in the game and a player ejected. Joe Malinchak was ejected, and I think he is still on the sidelines. We'll see the guy with smoke coming up from his head. We'll know that it's Malinchak who was ejected in a kind of a controversial call.
Well, it was. You've seen a lot of chop blocks and a lot of clips almost in every game. And he came down and clipped Bob Clasby in a very flagrant and cheap shot type of fashion. No need for him to do it. The referee tossed him out of the game.
He did leave the field, so he's not there anymore. I want to remind you, coming up next on CBS Sports, it's the men's final of the U.S. Open. Ivan Lendl against Boris Becker. Since it starts at 4 o'clock Eastern time, I'm sure Lendl played his golf earlier today instead of after the day. He always plays golf as well as tennis, and Boris Becker, a very tough foe for him in the men's final. Eric Hipple, who is the only other quarterback on the roster right now, along with Bob Gagliano. If they need one, Jim Arnold, the punter, could be pressed into service, although Arnold told us yesterday he doesn't want any of that.
No, in fact, Arnold being a punter, he wouldn't mind taking the entire day off. You know, that's one thing I always wanted to tell my punter, to make him assured that our offense was going to do well. I would tell him, hey, why don't you take the rest of the day off? You're not going to have to punt today. But Arnold's already kicked a couple of times, so that's not the case.
And he's kicked well. So Williams, in his 6th year out of Washington State, who's been a mainstay along the defensive line, is out. Curtis Green, number 62, in there. 2nd down and 4 for the Cardinals on their 48. Wolfley, the first back in, and Ron Wolfley is close to the first down yardage into Lion territory. And the other Williams, Jimmy Williams, the linebacker, making the stop on Wolfley.
Well, this is a big part of the Cardinal game plan coming into this game, is they wanted to establish the run to control the ball on the ground. They only ran the ball for about 6 yards in the entire first half. They've yet to throw a pass here in the second half.
Phoenix has rushed for 25 yards already on this drive after 6 yards rushing in the first half. Mitchell going wide. Kofer and Benny Blades forced the play and a loss of about 5 yards back into Cardinal territory. So Kofer makes his presence felt for the first time. Blades has been doing it all game long.
Well, with the addition of Benny Blades last year to this defense, with his great speed, very tough to run outside against him. Also, Kofer is one of the fastest linebackers in all of the game. So you're not going to make a whole lot of money going wide against the Lions. They lost 2 yards that time. Where the Cardinals are most effective running the ball is between the tackles with their big fullback Farrell and Wolfley and Mitchell.
2nd down and 13 after the loss. Back to the Cardinal 49. Here's the time remaining in the 3rd quarter. Still 6-3 Phoenix. Hogaboom. He has Wolfley, the fullback, out of bounds. And hit hard as he went out of bounds by Benny Blades. That's the way he plays football, whether it's the sideline or middle of the field.
He really delivered a blow that time, and that's what he's all about.
Brian Blades, of course, his brother, did not get burdened with the kind of name that Benny did.
Well, Benny is older, and he was the first one named. I asked him, here you are, Benny. Your name is Horatio Benedict. What did your parents name your brother Brian? He said Brian Keith.
He's the wide receiver for Seattle. They played against each other a couple of times. 3rd down and 6 on the Lion 44. Ogaboom has J.T. Smith, and I think Smith has the first down. Let's see where they spot it. The forward yardage should be enough for him, and I think it is. Another reception by Smith. Making the play was Jerry Holmes.
And this is a real controversial mark by this referee here on the far side. Hogaboom showing a lot of poise after this first quarter got through, where he didn't complete anything. He's been on the mark ever since. That was a very questionable mark by the referee.
Those are the numbers by Hogeboom so far. He's played within himself, 12 for 19, 141 yards, and 6 catches by J.T. Smith for 71 yards. 1st and 10 on the 37 of the Lions. Stump Mitchell. He got by Gibson, the inside linebacker, and picked up some extra yardage to the 31, short of a first down by about 3.5 yards. Jimmy Williams made the tackle for the Lions with help from Terry Taylor, the cornerback.
Well, Williams is a guy that was either going to get cut this year or traded. Indianapolis Colts were very interested for a short period of time. Sometimes the best trades are the ones that aren't made. The guy playing ahead of Jimmy Williams was George Jameson. Well, he's out with an ankle injury. Lions are lucky they didn't make the trade or cut Jimmy Williams.
Lions' best part of their defense is the linebacking spot, without question. 2nd and 4. Mitchell, short of a first down by about 1.5 yards as the Lions closed. Chris Spielman. Here's another guy, Spielman, who's had a sprained ankle. He's been like a caged animal, not getting a chance to play much in preseason. He's out of Ohio State and an overachiever and really one of those ferocious guys.
Well, and when you talk about players to their coaches, and you have a coach describe a certain player as a piece of work, as linebacker coach Woody Woodenhofer told me about Spielman, you know you got something special here. A piece of work, he called it.
I never heard of a player called that before. 3rd down and 2 on the 30. Wolfley flagged down. Wolfley will have the first down unless the penalty is against the Cardinals, and it may be. He may have a legal motion.
Illegal motion, right guard, 3rd down.
That's Lance Smith.
Well, that time the Cardinals went on a longer count and sent Roy Green in motion, and Lance Smith was just a little quick getting off. Let's take a look at it. There he is, his head sticking up above the rest of the linemen. He gets down too late, never got set at the line of scrimmage.
Cardinals had the first down, but the penalty nullifies it, so they sent it back to the 35-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 7. Gene Stallings, Tom Tupa, Jim Schaffner. They're the penalty stories, 11 for nearly 100 yards. Lawrence Pete, the 5th-round pick out of Nebraska, a rookie now in the defensive line, number 96. Out of the shotgun is Hogeboom. Hogeboom's pass. Holmes can't make the interception. Ernie Jones was the intended receiver, and it was Holmes. Ernie Holmes was quite a player, wasn't he? With the Pittsburgh. Woody Woodenhofer will remember him. Anyway, Holmes made a terrific play over there for the Lions.
Really did. That ball was up in the air for it seemed like an eternity as Jerry Holmes looked for it, couldn't quite make the interception.
Remember Fats Holmes? He played against Fats a couple of times.
Is that the guy with the arrow that was cut into his haircut there? He told me one time to quit running around out there. I quit for about 14 years.
Jerry Woods is back. Rich Camarillo punting. He wants to keep it in the field. Fair catch called for. And it is down at the 10 by Jerry Woods. So the Lions have their chance, trailing 6-3 when we return. Wayne Fonts and company on the sideline.
I'm not so sure this is what they mean by the silver stretch. This is Coach Dave Levy and Jerry Wampler giving a new meaning to the silver stretch, Sanzabelt style. I can only say that because they're both very good gentlemen, friends of mine. I hope. Still.
At least you were. First down on the 10. This is the worst starting field position for the Lions all day. Trailing 6-3. Bob Gagliano. And that's dropped by Chadwick. Now the crowd getting on the Lion receivers. They've dropped a few today.
So has Jeff Chadwick. He's dropped a few, and that ball was right in his hands. My question is, why are you wearing gloves? If you can't trust the feel of your own fingers against the pigskin, then you've got problems as a wide receiver. He's got these gloves on. They got some tackiness to the inside, but I believe that you've got to trust your own feelings and your own fingers.
It's tacky to wear gloves indoors, in other words. Meanwhile, the crowd, you know, at the end of the first half when the Lions went to the dressing room, the crowd started chanting Barry, Barry, and we've heard it again here in this third quarter. 2nd and 10. Mobley, one of the slot backs, was in motion. Gagliano being chased by Freddie Joe Nunn, running for his life. Diving to the 21, good enough for a first down for the Lions. 11-yard gain, and waiting in the wings on the sideline is Barry Sanders. Signed a $9 million contract plus, the highest paid Lion in history.
Wearing number 20, Billy Sims' old number. We asked him about whether he requested that number or not, and here he's coming up to Fonts.
You'll hear the cheer. It'll be the next play, perhaps. First down on the 21. Gagliano's been the leading rusher today for the Lions. Here is Tony Page. Flag is down, maybe holding as Page gets to the 24-yard line. A gain of a couple. It was Ken Harvey, Cardinal linebacker, on the tackle.
Holding, number 65.
Eric Andolsek, the left guard. By the way, the other guard is Ken Dalafor. He came in for Milichak, who was ejected.
And what this penalty does, two things. It moves the Lions back, but it also keeps this guy on the bench. If they had made a anyway half-decent gain there, we might have seen Sanders.
So the crowd hoping that the Lions get better field position so that Barry Sanders can make his NFL debut.
You sure they're not yelling Darryl, Darryl? Are we in Boston? Are they yelling at Darryl Strawberry again?
Or Darryl Rogers, the former coach here. I don't think they're saying that. First down and 20. Back to the 11. Gagliano going deep. He was going for Mobley, who was double covered by Mack and Michael Zordich. That'll bring up third down, or second down and 20.
You know, the Cardinals secondary is doing a wonderful job of sticking with these little quick receivers. Being down on the field before the game, I felt that the Cardinal defensive backs might have trouble because they're so big and physical looking. Whereas you look at the little tiny wide receivers, all these guys 5'9" and 5'7" of the Lions, I felt that these guys have got an advantage because of their size and quickness.
Well, Richard Johnson told us yesterday, he says, I think it's an advantage being 5'8".
Yeah, run on the line of scrimmage, but what they're not doing is getting open down the field.
Carl Painter, number 26, the back. There's the stretch from the end zone on second down and $1 million, and Painter picks up a couple, so it'll be third and long. We came very close to seeing Barry Sanders come in the field, but there was a penalty, and he has to now wait a while. Cardinal defensive unit with Harvey in there as a pass rusher along with Nunn. They've improved that department. Their linebackers are superb with all number ones, and the problem has always been the cornerbacks, and Gagliano obviously trying to take advantage of that today, but Carter and Cedric Mack have played well.
Well, and the pressure that the Cardinals are giving Gagliano is really good pressure. They're not letting him get outside. The defensive ends are getting up the field and containing him.
Third and 17. Gagliano has thrown 6 straight incompletions. He has that to Mel Gray. Needs some open room. Gets by McDonald. Mel Gray, first down and more. 30-yard gain. And Mel Gray made it happen himself. Roland Mitchell on the stop.
This is a look from the end zone. Now, Mel Gray is a great kick returner and a great punt returner. This is that type of ability being shown here. He's going completely away from the flow and uses great speed to outrun the cornerback and get down and get that first down. And now, again, we hear the Barry cheer. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not in there real soon.
Well, they're out of jail there as far as the field position is concerned. The first down on the Lion 44. He may be coming in real soon. Gagliano's pass. Incomplete, intended for Johnson. And you'll hear the eruption. There it is. this for a Barry Sanders in his debut?
Well, they told us about a little play action pass where they'll fake the ball to him on the run and maybe go up top.
Let's see. 2nd and 10 on the 44.
But again, the 30-second clock ran down and almost ran out before Gagliano was forced to call a timeout.
A timeout called. So Barry Sanders just wants to run one play. That's all. Then he'll go from there.
They stunned USC. Now they'll try to topple Colorado. The season premiere of college football on CBS Sports next Saturday.
Lions have used a timeout, but Barry Sanders would like to duplicate what his namesake Deion Sanders did in his first NFL appearance. A 68-yard punt return for a touchdown, and here he is. 2nd and 10. Lions on their 44. Cardinals lead 6-3. There's the play action. Gagliano. And we're going to have a flag down. Jason Phillips was interfered with. Michael Zordich, and it'll be first down. You called it.
Pass interference, number 38, first down.
Well, everybody expected Sanders to get the ball. This is a great call. Little fake here. Sanders getting out of the way. And now a fine pass. And Zordich going up over the top. Just got too much helmet of Jason Phillips that time. Jason Phillips, only 5'7", was tall enough that time to get the call for the pass interference.
But the Lions have a first down on the Cardinal 29 with 5:25 to go in the third quarter. Phillips goes in motion. Here's Sanders with his first carry. Listen to him.
Well, you talk about restoring the roar. Barry Sanders does it in one carry, 18-yarder. And if he isn't running backwards when he makes contact, he may go into the end zone. Watch this. Roland Mitchell grabs him with his back turn.
And that 18-yard run is the longest of the game. 1st and 10, just beyond the 10-yard line. Sanders gets maybe a yard or two. This 40,000 crowd, or whatever they are, we did not get the official attendance figures yet. Sounds as if there are 70,000 here.
They're very excited, and they were on their feet for that last play to get a better look at Barry Sanders.
In his NFL debut, Barry Sanders, who just signed the other day, comes into the game with 5:32 to go in the third quarter, and on his first carry gets 18 yards for the Detroit Lions.
That was a yawn of anxiety right there.
Yeah. He's not tired or bored, that's for sure.
I don't think so.
2nd and 8. Richard Johnson in motion. Again, Sanders inside the 5. It'll be 3rd and short. But already you can tell that Barry Sanders looks like he's a runner.
This is what the Lions want to do when they get inside the 20-yard line. They want to run the ball. They weren't successful on their first drive. They had to settle for a field goal. But now they've got a back that they feel can get him in that end zone.
And look how all of them just hit his helmet. They're giving him all the encouragement in the world. I mean, he spent yesterday after practice with Dave Levy going over the plays, going over the film. They can still get a first down without scoring on 3rd and 3. Sanders. Touchdown.
From the end zone, Barry Sanders is going to shake off 2 tackles here. Here's Mike Zordich. He's no match, and now he's into the end zone. 4 carries in a row, and Sanders is in for his first touchdown. This is just beautiful to watch. Great power there. And now he knows exactly how to get into that pay dirt.
It has been years since the Detroit crowd has been this excited about the Lions. And Barry Sanders has given them a shot in the arm. It is 9-6. Eddie Murray, out of Jim Arnold's hold, will try to give the Lions a 10-6 lead. He does. Barry Sanders averaged 7 yards a carry, and William Clay Ford applauds with the rest of the throng and stands with them as well. The Silverdome is still buzzing over the debut of Barry Sanders, who has given the Detroit Lions a 10-6 lead with 3:01 to go in the third quarter. A 3-yard touchdown run on his first series. Bob Gagliano, the quarterback, who engineered it. The kickoff by Murray. Back deep is Jones and Sikahema. Sikahema at the goal line. Takes it out to the 22-yard line. Keith Karpinski on the stop. It was a 9-play, 90-yard scoring drive, and it was Barry Sanders' 18-yard run that set it up, and tremendous excitement in what has always been a great sports town, Dan, and all they want is a team with enthusiasm and a team that has a chance to win.
Well, they're on a roll, this town. You know, their basketball team didn't do too poorly this year either.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, and Sanders is going to make sure that this Lion football team gives these fans something to cheer. We got a penalty against the Cardinals, so everything's going right for the Lions at this point.
But keep in mind, it's going right, but it's still a close game at 10-6. First down at the 12. Ron Wolfley has been at fullback. Earl Farrell was injured in the first half. Stump Mitchell runs into his own man, and a loss back to the 9. Jerry Holmes. During our timeout, Wayne Fonts came over to talk to his rookie Barry Sanders.
Mitchell on the run. Stopped by Jerry Holmes.
Encouraging him, telling him what he might do, and of course, as we said before the game, they were going to use him if the game were close, and they couldn't have put him in at a better time.
Well, and Fonts is a motivational type of coach. He knows what he wants to do with his football team, and he gave his team and this crowd a great lift by putting Sanders in the game during that drive.
6 defensive backs in for the Lions on 2nd and 13. Hogaboo, J.T. Smith. Smith tackled at the 19-yard line. Will bring up 3rd and about 4. The one thing that Gene Stallings told us last night, he says the problem will be, can we come from behind? We knew that when we had Neil Lomax, we were able to do it. Not so sure about Gary Hogaboom, so a lot of questions could be answered now.
Well, they are behind, and the great thing about Lomax was that ability. It's an intangible type of thing that you get from a lot of experience. Hogaboom has been in and out, mostly out as a quarterback in this league.
3rd down and 2. And J.T. Smith with another great catch and a first down, getting the Cardinals out of trouble to the 39-yard line. A 19-yard gain. Benny Blades on the stop, and Smith is having a tremendous afternoon.
Well, what he gives Hogaboom is a real safety blanket here. Nice little pick play by the Cardinals as JT gets off inside. This is a great catch, but this is what I like at the very end. He goes head-to-head with Benny Blades and gets the best of it. 33 years old going against a 22-year-old. That's being a real pro.
8 catches for 102 yards today by J.T. Smith. 1st and 10 at the 39 for the Cardinals. Hogaboom has Wolfley, and he is down just short of the 45-yard line as time is running out here in the third quarter. An electrifying third quarter provided by Barry Sanders, the Heisman Trophy winner, who in his NFL debut after signing just the other day scored his first touchdown to give the Lions a lead.
Hogaboom continues to impress me, Dick, because he had a terrible start of this game, missed his first 4, and he's hit almost everything in sight since.
They get off one more play. Stump Mitchell gets into Lion territory and has a first down as the third quarter ends. And that is the end of the third quarter with a score The Detroit Lions 10, the Phoenix Cardinals 6. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Subaru. We built our reputation by building a better car. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars. And by Miller Genuine Draft, cold filtered for real draft taste. So tap into the cold.
And welcome back to the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, the opening weekend of the NFL campaign. This is Dick Stockton along with Dan Fouts. We begin the fourth quarter with the Lions leading the Cardinals 10-6. 2 field goals by Al Del Greco. Field goal by Ed Murray and Barry Sanders' touchdown run. The story. Meanwhile, a first down for the Cardinals on the Lion 49. Gary Hogeboom up the middle. And J.T. Smith finally doesn't catch one. He's been tremendous all afternoon.
I get a feeling that JT realized that if he makes this grab, he's got some room to run with it afterwards. Sometimes even the old pros take their eye off the ball at the last second. He might have been guilty of that time.
But as a former quarterback, we're all impressed with what Barry Sanders has done to light up the crowd. But Gary Hogeboom has stayed cool, calm. I mean, we have not had a turnover or an interception by him or by the Lions either.
I'm really impressed with the way he's responded to the challenge.
Cincinnati leading Chicago. Tampa Bay had that lead narrowed by Green Bay in the fourth. Second down 10. Stump Mitchell gets a big hole and lost his footing and is short of a first down by less than 2 yards. Mitchell at 30 years of age, and Dan talked about his shoulder surgery, and still the chief back along with Ferrell, but certainly a team that without great speed in the backfield.
What they have, though, is a really a never say die attitude. You saw Mitchell crawling for that extra yard, knowing where the chains were, how much he needed to get it, doing everything in his power to get it. He also stepped out of a pretty good tackle by Michael Kofer there. Mitchell may not have the speed he once had, but he still has the quickness, and that's more important.
No one really criticizes the Cardinal offense generally. Pretty potent. 3rd and 3. Crowd waving the white handkerchiefs.
First timeout.
And a timeout called by the Cardinals. That's their first timeout, so each team has 2 timeouts remaining. And Hogeboom goes to the sidelines. Our game summary: Barry Sanders' first NFL touchdown in his debut. Phoenix doing it through the air, 177 yards to 88, and Detroit with a 5-yard rushing average. Our score is 10-6 in favor of the Lions in the first minute of the fourth quarter. And Dan, a lot of electricity here, but the Cardinals seem to me to still be the calm machine offense here.
Well, they're a veteran team. They've got a lot of pride in that team. You know, that offensive line is a tight-knit group. Hogeboom is really doing the job, though.
But Barry Sanders did the job, and he scored on a 3-yard run, but this was his big run in the drive.
First carry as an NFL player, 18 yards, might have gone farther, but he really set the tone for that scoring drive.
3rd down and 3. A couple of guys knocked down, and a few of the Cardinals not liking it very much. Derek Kennard, the center, was hit by Lawrence Pete, the rookie.
Encroachment to 62. First down.
You know why they call this encroachment instead of offsides? Because of the contact. And there was some contact there. Defense came across Lawrence Pete.
They called it on Curtis Green. There is Pete, who was a rookie out of Nebraska in the 5th round. Nebraska has supplied a lot of linemen in the NFL. First down and 3 following the penalty. Make it 1st and 10. 1st and 10 at the 42. Hogeboom. Awald wide open inside the 20, and a Cardinal first down. The Cardinals are moving now. James Griffin making the stop as Awald, one of the better receiving tight ends, got open.
You know what I like about Awald is he catches the ball with his hands away from his body, very much like a guy I played with who also wore number 80, Kellen Winslow. A lot of confidence in their hands. What that does is it cuts down the amount of time the ball is in the air, even by a split second. sometimes the difference between a completion and an incompletion.
That was a 19-yard gain. Cardinals on the 18 of the Lions, first down. Mitchell, with a little hesitation, fights his way to the 15. And Dennis Gibson making the stop for the Lions. By the way, we saw Ewald, who had injured ribs. They thought that he was going to wear a flak jacket, does not have one on.
Tough guy. Tight ends got to be tough. They got a lot of different jobs they got to do out there. They got to block against these big linebackers like Kofor, and they got to go down the field and make catches. And Ewald, as you said, Dick, is one of the best in the league, and it's only his 3rd year.
And they're well stocked with Jay Novacek backing him up, and they have a rookie, Walter Reeves, who's impressive out of Auburn. So 3 tight ends now for the Cardinals. 2nd down and 7. Hogaboom. And no flag, incomplete. Pass was intended for Roy Green. And it was Griffin defending on the play.
We're going to see a little bit of contact here from Griffin and Green, but this ball is uncatchable. So ruled by the referee, or it was incidental contact. Both men just got tangled up there. And that's why that one was incomplete.
And of course the rule is, and a lot of people always complain and may not understand it, but if the defensive man is going for the ball, you can have that contact.
He's got as much right as the offensive player to the ball.
3rd down and 7 on the 15. Hogaboom gets a rush. Green is there. He's got it. Touchdown, Cardinals. And Gary Hogaboom really showed the Phoenix fans and his teammates something in the face of a big rush. He found Roy Green, who beat his man for the touchdown. It was Jerry Woods defending on the play.
Great job of knowing the blitz is coming by the 2 safeties right up the middle. Wolfley picks up 1, but James Griffin is free on the quarterback. That looks a lot like Neil Lomax to me. That's the type of play that he's made many, many times. Roy Green getting around Jerry Woods for the touchdown.
Al Del Greco looking to give the Cardinals a 3-point lead early here in this 4th quarter. Holding is Hogaboom. The kick is good, and it's now 13-10 Cardinals. Roy Green has made a living out of catching the big one.
Pure, genuine, never heat pasteurized. A beer that's made unlike any other. Cold filtered to give you the rich, smooth taste of real draft beer. That's the mark of a great beer. So tap into the cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
Thousands of years ago, the world was introduced to a vehicle that could hold plenty of cargo and travel in some of the worst weather. This year, history repeats itself. The new 4-wheel drive Subaru Legacy wagon. After thousands of years, man still can't improve the weather, only the way he travels through it.
Wimbledon's golden boy, Boris Becker, goes gunning after his first U.S. Open title. But can he topple Lendl? The men's final today.
We have had a close game throughout in the season opener for a couple of teams under new eras, really. Gary Hogaboom replacing Neil Lomax, and of course the silver stretch offense for the Lions. Al Del Greco kicking off. Mel Gray at the 5. Changes direction beautifully and is ridden out of bounds by Jay Taylor.
We're going to take a look at the touchdown to Roy Green on the chalkboard. This is Bruce McNorton on the blitz, and this is James Griffin on the blitz. Watch Wolfley come in, pick up one of them. But Griffin is free on the quarterback, and Hogaboom just does a super job of laying this one out for Roy Green, Mr. Reliable, in the end zone.
There's Roy Green with a 15-yard touchdown reception. Both Green and Smith over 30 years of age and still great threats as wideouts for the Cardinals. 1st and 10 at the 34. Barry Sanders in the game at running back for the Lions. who now trail by 3. Inside handoff to Mel Gray. Gray gets beyond the 40. First time that play has been run today. And a pickup of nearly 5 yards.
Once a fellow like Gray and Sanders gets comfortable with this offense, with their ability to run with the ball in the open field, there's going to be a lot of excitement generated by this run and shoot.
Bob Gagliano is going to be getting married soon. This is a big time for him, with a chance to lead the Lions. 2nd down and 4 at the 41 of the line. Sanders. Here he goes. And pushed out of bounds by Mack. 26 yards that time for Barry Sanders.
Cardinals have done a great job of stopping the run up in the middle, but they haven't faced this type of speed. Sanders wanted to go inside, bounces it out to the outside. There's no contain, and then watch his speed getting down the sidelines. This tells me that he did a great job of preparing himself physically for this season. I mean, he's been out of camp, only has had 1 practice in a mini camp back a couple months ago. He looks in great shape.
He has averaged 11 yards per carry in his first game, first time in pads. Tony Page replaces him in the backfield. 1st and 10 on the Cardinal 34. Gagliano completes to Robert Clark. Clark inside the 25 has another first down. Defending was Carl Carter and Jay Taylor.
You know, they wanted to set up the run with the pass. That's the premise for this run and shoot. But what they're doing today is very traditional football. They're running the ball well first, and now Gagliano's completing a couple of passes.
Which is what's interesting about the formation, because you think they're going to throw to set up the run, and they go the traditional way, but you still have those 2 wide outs and the 2 slot men.
And it's still superior personnel that makes the difference, and that's Barry Sanders.
1st and 10 at the 23. 3 seconds on the clock. They better hurry. And they just got it off in time. The pitch to Page. Inside the 20. Inside the 10. Another Lion first down. It was Carl Carter and Tim McDonald that time. 14 more yards.
Now this is an audible by Gagliano. He sent about 4 guys in motion. This is just the old option play. Takes a great lick from Freddie Joe Nunn. But then it's all Tony Page stepping up inside and taking this ball down inside the 10. Great audible call, though, by Gagliano that time. Saw the weakness in the defense and got the right play call.
3 straight first downs by the Lions. Sanders is back in there. 1st and goal at the 9. Here's Sanders, and Clasby grabs a hold of him and doesn't let go as Sanders gets to the 5, a gain of 4. We have not had this kind of excitement here in years. Lions have had a rich football tradition. They've also had their bottomless well moments. They're coming off one of those, but they're definitely coming off for sure.
Well, the owner is standing up giving an ovation, a standing ovation to one of his ball players. You don't see that very often in the NFL. His money, Mr. Ford's money, is well spent, I gotta believe.
Reviving the thrills that Billy Sims gave these fans. Sims wore the same number, of course. 2nd down. Sanders. He'll lose this time. And great pursuit by the Cardinals. Tim McDonald coming up from strong safety. And that'll be 3rd down and goal. And McDonald, who had a rough start. He came from the West Coast, wasn't happy to be drafted by the Cardinals, broke his ankle in his first year, and has come to enjoy his status as the best player in the secondary on this team.
And captain of the defensive football team, an honor voted by his teammates. Only his 3rd year. That's a great honor.
3rd and goal at the 6. They spread the offense. Clark wide to the right. Gagliano to Clark. Incomplete. Good coverage that time by Jay Taylor. Rookie from San Jose State. He was all over Robert Clark. That'll bring up 4th down, and Eddie Murray will come in to try to tie the game.
Jay Taylor's the shortest of the Phoenix defensive backs at 5'9". Clark, not much taller at 5'11", but that's wonderful coverage. Oh, you just can't get any better than that.
So Arnold will be holding for Murray, who kicked a 30-yard field goal to give the Lions their initial lead of the game. This is to tie. And the kick is good. 23-yard field goal by Ed Murray. He was called Ed in college. Now they call him Eddie. Normally they go the other way around. In any event, we have a 13-13 game. 8 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the 4th quarter, and the Lions and the Cardinals are all knotted up at 13-13. And for that man, Eddie Murray, that was his 13th consecutive field goal, which is the longest current streak in the National Football League. It is also a new Detroit Lion record.
Been a great kicker for a great number of years also. It's unusual for a kicker to stay with the same team for a long time, and Eddie Murray, you know, he's been here a bunch of years.
Yes, Rich Camarillo and those people.
Yeah.
By Sikahema on the 6. Out past the 25 to the 28-yard line. Victor Jones. Earl Farrell on crutches with a sprained ankle. Came out of the game in the 2nd quarter, Dan.
You know, you look at a guy's face and you can pretty much tell when they're getting taped up or something on the sidelines or getting looked at by the doctors and trainers. You can tell by looking at the expression on a player's face that just how he's feeling, and that didn't look very good for Earl Farrell.
Benny Blades went out of the game, had x-rays on his neck with the collision with J.T. Smith. He has made 10 tackles in this game. Lions are pleased he's back in there. 1st down on the 28. Play fake. Intercepted by William White. Lions ball. It was off Awalt's hand. And William White with the first turnover of the game.
Hogaboom throws this ball behind Awalt. He wanted to get it to him right now, but White had good coverage. Now he just gets it behind him a little bit too much, and that's really just being unlucky. You've heard of interceptions that are unlucky, but Awalt, if he wasn't trying very hard, that ball wouldn't have been intercepted. He could have just let it go by, and there would have been no interception. But he was trying to make the catch, tipped it up in the air, and White was there for the pick.
First career interception. Hogaboom threw it, and William White made it. He replaces Devon Mitchell, the free safety who was let go by the Lions. 1st and 10 on the Lion 48. Barry Sanders, the running back. Play fake. Freddie Joe Nunn giving chase. Gagliano is pushed out of bounds at the 49 of the Cardinals. We have 7:46 remaining in the 4th quarter here at the Silverdome. Both teams are aching for a victory on opening day. The Cardinals, after having lost their last 5 last year, after they were in 1st place, and the Lions, who are trying to restore the roar, and they've done that today.
And I keep getting the feeling from the Cardinals is that what's going to happen to us next? They lost 3 games in the preseason on the very last play of each of those games. And now they're in a real dogfight now. The game is tied. The Lions have got momentum. They got Barry Sanders in there. The Cardinals have got to be wondering a little bit about their own fortunes.
And the Lions also have Eddie Murray.
And a timeout for the Lions. Again, down on that 30-second clock.
Second timeout.
And that can be tough in a
42nd timeout.
Close game. The Lions now have only 1 timeout left, and in a close game, you never want to be left with just 1. Coming up next on CBS Sports, it's the men's final of the U.S. Open Tennis Championship. Top-seeded Yvonne Lendl against Boris Becker, the 2nd-seeded player. 1 against 2. That's the way it should be.
Well, that's good seeding, isn't it? I mean, the guys that make the seeds, they picked it right this time. Should be an outstanding final.
Becker has always had problems on the U.S. Open court. Lendl has always dominated there, but we'll see what happens today. San Francisco in front. Rams have stretched their lead against Atlanta. Cincinnati and Chicago, anyone's game in the 3rd quarter at Soldier Field, and a close one in Lambeau Field.
A lot of good games so far today. A lot of excitement around the league.
By the way, we understand the Cowboys have gained only 8 yards rushing through 3 quarters.
Where's Herschel?
They're really relying on Troy's arm today, huh? Second down and 7 on the Cardinal 49. I wonder whether they're going to call Jason Phillips for drawing the Cardinals offside.
I think that our center, Kevin Glover, down there for the Lions, didn't snap the ball when he was supposed to. He had everybody moving except the ball to the quarterback.
False start on the center.
That's it.
Second down, number 53.
You got it.
How can they call false start when he's the only guy that didn't start, though?
He would say it's a true start. It's the only one.
Yeah, I got the ball, fellas. When I hike the ball, then we play. But nobody's going anywhere till I hike.
10 penalties assessed against the Lions
I used
today.
to just tell the center, bend over and shut up.
Well, you could do it. You backed it up.
Sometimes.
Second down, 12 now. Back to the 46 of the Lions. Barry Sanders. What impressed me on that run is the way he protected the ball. The Lions, the Cardinals were trying to jar it loose. Ken Harvey made the stop at the 47 of Phoenix.
We talked about Sanders' thighs. Well, he's got great strength in those thighs. Watch him pull out of this tackle from Freddie Joe Nunn. Great cutback, and now the strength of those big thighs pulls away from one of the better tacklers and better athletes in the game.
He has carried 8 times for 66 yards and has outgained the entire Phoenix rushing corps. And we're talking about some heavy hitters in Farrell and Mitchell. 3rd and 4. Gagliano with time. And the pass is dropped by Jason Phillips, the rookie from Houston. And that'll bring up 4th down. The look says it all for Gagliano.
Well, it really does. 3rd down, you've got to convert it. It's not that easy to do. You got to get great pass protection for your quarterback. Quarterback's got to read the defense and deliver the ball. The receiver's job, simple. Catch it. Lions having trouble doing that today.
Jim Arnold will be kicking it away with exactly 7 minutes to go. By Sikahema goes deep. Here's Jim Arnold. Both punters have been superb this afternoon. Camarillo in his debut with the Cardinals. And Arnold. Good kick, high kick. That's what he wanted. But the Lions can't keep it in bounds as the ball bounds away. A 46-yard kick, and Arnold didn't like the way that rolled. Well, Saturday kicks off another season of college football action on CBS Sports. Boy, 2 teams that scored tremendous upsets and victories in their first game.
Well, Jeff George really led the Illini back against USC with 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. But Colorado looks like they're back as a force in the Big 8.
With Oklahoma and Oklahoma State currently on probation, the Buffaloes will battle Nebraska perhaps for a Big 8 Orange Bowl ticket. So college football action starts at 2:30 Eastern next Saturday here on CBS Sports. See what Gary Hogeboom and the Cardinals do. It's 6:48 to go in the 4th. Snub Mitchell gets ahead of steam and rambles out beyond the 30 for a 1st down. Tackled by Jimmy Williams, the linebacker. That's a good start for Phoenix.
Well, Phoenix would like nothing more than about a 6-minute drive here of 80 yards. Use up all the clock, get their kicker either in field goal range or take it all the way in.
Gene Stallings is a ball control coach, even though he knows he has 2 outstanding wide receivers. 1st down and 10 at the 31. Mitchell again. And he powers out for 5 more yards to the 36-yard line. That time it was Keith Ferguson, the defensive end.
What Stallings has done is he's told the offensive line, hey, listen, I'm going to trust you guys to win this ball game for us right now. We're not going to do anything fancy. We may throw a few possession type of passes, but it's up to you guys on 1st down to get me 5 or 6 yards. And they're running left behind Todd Pete and Luis Sharp.
2nd down and 5 at the 36. Play fake and Hogeboom under pressure completes to Ewald. And Ewald is hung up by Griffin, won't get to midfield, but has more than enough for a 1st down for the Cardinals. A gain of 12 yards. Ewald has been open on virtually every occasion this afternoon, has 4 catches for 65 yards.
And he really showed me that he's a heady ball player also. He knows that at this point they do not want to run out of bounds and stop that clock. They want to keep that clock rolling, and right now they're about at the 5-minute mark. He knew he had enough for the first down. No need to struggle for more yards. It's more important to let the clock run out now.
And hold on to the ball. First down for the Cardinals on their 48. Benny Blades, by the way, is out of the game again. James Griffin has been in there. Quick toss to Roy Green, incomplete, and he was hit hard by Holmes. It'll bring up second down.
Boy, one thing you can't do as a quarterback is hesitate on a quick hitch to the outside like that. Holmes got the read on Hogaboom, and he almost came up with the interception there.
With Terry Taylor acquired from Seattle to shore up the cornerback position for the Lions, Holmes moved from left to the right side. William White, who has the only interception of the game, and so it looks like the Lions secondary, anchored by Benny Blades, who's out of action right now, has been improved. Time remaining. Hogaboom, Roy Green dropped it. He looked like one of the Lion receivers there, one of the young ones.
Now it appears that Hogaboom may have thrown this ball into coverage, but it was right on the money. The receiver, of course, has got to make this grab. It's a double zone to this side, but Green did a nice job of getting inside, and Hogaboom throws a wonderful pass. That should have been caught.
Taylor, part of that coverage.
He's looking for the ball. It ain't in your hands, Terry. I know that for a fact.
Third down and 10. Cardinals on their 48. Novacek in motion. Hogaboom's pass. Knocked away, and a great defense. James Griffin broke it open. And Hogaboom had his man. Ernie Jones, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Defensive backs must run in the Griffin family. James's brother is Don for the 49ers, so they've got some talented brothers there in that family.
Rich Camarillo will kick for the fourth time. Mel Gray goes deep for the Lions. Good kick. Fair catch. Gray fields it at the 9. So with 4:25 remaining in this fourth quarter, the Lions and the Silver Stretch come out for what could be one last shot to try to get Eddie Murray in position to win or even score a touchdown. It's been back and forth like a chess game.
Back and forth. We just had the feeling after Awalt's reception there that the Cardinals were in great shape. They were at midfield. They only needed to go maybe 20 yards or so to get Del Greco in field goal range. They didn't get it done because the Lions came up with some big plays defensively.
Gagliano, looking at those numbers, is still only 2 of 10 since the first quarter.
But I got to wonder how many balls has he had dropped today? Quite a few.
Plenty. First and 10 on the 9-yard line.
That's a half a wave.
Those kids can move up. There's some empty seats. Join the crowd. Here's Gray on the inside handoff. Freddie Joe Nunn slowed him up, and the rest of them clamped down in a gain of about a yard that time. Nunn first, and then it was Jim Waller, the rookie from UCLA. Remember, the Lions have only one timeout left.
Freddie Joe Nunn used to play linebacker before they converted him. There he is, number 78 on the left side of the screen in a stand-up position. He's going to just get a little piece of towel here. That's all he gets from Mel Gray. But he's really having a heck of a workout this afternoon trying to stop some of these fellas.
That's all he wanted.
Look at the blue paint on top of his helmet. You know he's been in there head knocking.
Second down and 8. Ball at the 11. Gagliano's pass. Incomplete. It was intended for Troy Johnson. So it's third down and 11. So Wayne Fonts has a problem here. Bad field position. Third down, and could be looking at the Cardinals getting the ball around midfield if he doesn't get it here.
Yeah, they have done well, though, throughout the game in third down situations. In fact, it seemed like in that first drive that they had, that was the only play that they were successful on. This, to say the least, is the biggest third down play they'll have all day.
Time remaining, 3:37. Harvey is showing blitz. Barry Sanders leaps the line, and he's going to be short of a first down as he stopped at the 15. It was Cedric Mack who came up from cornerback to make the tackle. So it'll be 4th down with the clock running, nearly 3 minutes to go. Barry Sanders with a touchdown and the longest run of the day in his debut. But the Lions now have to think of stopping the Cardinals. Jim Arnold will kick from the goal line, and Vi Sikahema goes back. Arnold has, well, look at the numbers. 52-yard average. Only 2 punts. No, he's had more than 2. We'll check it. There's another beauty. Fair catch called for by Sikahema at the 45 of Phoenix, but it's good field position. Another great kick by Jim Arnold. 13-13 in the 4th quarter. The Cardinals looking to win it here with 2:45 remaining, and they have 2 timeouts remaining. We'll bring you up to date on other scores around the league, and this is the first weekend of the NFL season.
What a game there. You got to wonder about the Dallas Cowboys under their new coach. Still looking for their first score.
San Francisco, the defending champions. That was a tough opener against the Colts, and it's still up for grabs. Meanwhile, it's first down for the Cardinals on their 45. Pitch to Stump Mitchell. Stop for no gain.
Boy, both teams have become real conservative in this 4th quarter now. Not willing to throw the ball down the field. Looking for field position. Looking to work on that clock now.
2nd down and 10.
Hogaboom's going to milk every bit of this 30-second clock now. In fact, he's going to let it run down to the 2-minute warning.
Nothing more that Gary Hogaboom with his college friends would like today than to engineer a victory in his first start with the Cardinals. He's a native of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Went to Central Michigan before he was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. And the 2-minute warning. And there's the section where the Hogaboom crowd is hoping he can pull out a victory. Two minutes to go in the 4th quarter of a tie game. The Cardinals and the Lions. But the Cardinals have the ball, and they have it in good field position. The 45-yard line, their own 45. Keep in mind that Al Del Greco's career long field goal, 51 yards. So you would have to figure he needs 21 yards to set that situation up.
And he hasn't done very well this preseason. 0 for 3 from 40 yards and longer.
He's 2 for 2 today, but they were short ones. 2nd down and 10 at the 45. Hogaboom completes to Smith to midfield. It'll create a 3rd and 5 now.
The other problem facing the Lions at this time, if they do get the ball back, and when they get the ball back, they will only have 1 timeout to work with.
Gary Hogaboom, we talked to his dad yesterday when we went over to the Cardinals hotel.
Well, we saw all the fans in the stands. He's the first guy I've ever heard of getting a standing ovation in a hotel lobby. There were that many people waiting for him when he got to the hotel yesterday.
That's right. We had to run out of our room to see. 3rd down and 4. Big play. Hogaboom completes it to J.T. Smith, and a first down for the Cardinals to the Lion 35. A big pass on 3rd down. Dennis Gibson on the stop. The clock will run down to a minute to go, and J.T. Smith with a 15-yard gain, having a brilliant opening contest of the year with 10 catches for 121 yards.
And Wayne Fonts told us that he wasn't worried about J.T. Smith beating him because he's going to get his receptions. Well, I got news for Coach Fonts. Right now, J.T. Smith is the guy responsible for the situation we're in now.
1st and 10 on the 35. Stump Mitchell gets a couple. And it was Jimmy Williams who got him from behind. Now with 29 seconds to go, the Cardinals will use 1 of their 2 remaining timeouts.
They got some talking to do on that sidelines. We've got to get a little bit closer, they got to be telling themselves. They got to get Del Greco comfortably another 10 yards or so.
Right now, it would be a 50-yard attempt, And we told you that his longest in history was 51, but you don't want to just play it through this longest. You'd like to give him a little bit better opportunity here.
Yeah, you don't want to hit that 2-iron to the green. You want to, take the wedge out or something. Give me a chip shot.
There is Del Greco, who is working with Camarillo. Hogeboom has been his holder throughout this afternoon. And for Wayne Fonts, he would like to keep the Cardinals right where they're at.
Yeah, it's fingernail time for Wayne Fonts. He knows that the clock is against him, that it's up to his defense, the defense he was once the coordinator of, to stop the Cardinals.
It was a field goal battle at the half, 6-3 in favor of the Cardinals. Barry Sanders scored a touchdown to give the Lions a 10-6 lead. And then Roy Green on a 15-yard touchdown reception gave Phoenix a 3-point lead before Eddie Murray tied it up, and that's where we're at. 2nd down and 8 on the Lion, 33. Hogeboom under some pressure, completes to Wolfley out of the backfield. He stays in bounds, and Wolfley gets inside the 15 and close to the 10-yard line. The stop made by Jerry Holmes, and a big play there by Hogeboom. Found the man out of the backfield for 22 yards.
Well, they went from the 2-iron to the wedge. They're in great shape now. William White, number 35, comes within a fingernail of knocking this ball down, but Wolfley makes the grab, stays in bounds, and gets as much as he can, covers up the ball, and now the Cards are in great shape.
A timeout has been called by Phoenix, and it's a 40-second injury timeout, and it's a charge timeout in the last 2 minutes. Is that right? I believe so.
Yes, it is. But all that really matters is that the Cardinals have got Del Greco in position where he's got a field goal of about, 20 yards or so, huh? Maybe 30.
Well, he has kicked 2 today from 29 and 23 yards. Is Gene Stallings, protege of Tom Landry at Dallas. His buddy Landry is gone from the scene now. Nothing fancy, that's for sure. It'll be 1st and 10.
This man feels every loss, every win. I mean, this is a coach that the old emotions are on the sleeve.
Remember last year when Butler kicked the field goal for the Bears to beat him and
at Soldier Field? Yeah, he was on one knee. Head sinks into his hands. He's got that sinking feeling right now as Del Greco's going for the winner.
28-yard attempt. Hogeboom will hold. 17 seconds to go. And now Hogeboom is running in, yelling for time. A delay of the game penalty. But Gary Hogeboom is steamed.
Well, I'm not sure that they gave him enough warning that the clock was running down, or that the clock was started when at the proper time. But this changes things a bit. This moves it back 5 yards. This is no longer that chip shot. Del Greco's got to drive it through from 33 now. Interesting that they're going for the field goal with 17 seconds left to go.
Perfect from that distance a year ago. The game on the line. And the kick is good, and the Cardinals have taken the lead. 33-yard field goal by Al Del Greco, and Phoenix jumps in front 16-13 on Al Del Greco's 3rd field goal of the game. And what's left for Wayne Fonts and the Detroit Lions? 13 seconds left.
This answers a few questions I had, and I'm sure that the Cardinals ball players and their staff had about Gary Hogeboom. We talked about, well, can he lead them from behind? That's what he did. He led them on this drive while the score was still tied. But in effect, that's as much as being behind as you can get. And it's down in position for the winning field goal. Great pass to Wolfley. Hogeboom had an outstanding day.
And you know what? He didn't play. He played within himself. He didn't try to extend, even though he has some wide receivers. It was a very controlled offensive attack by Hogeboom, and you have to execute. Here is the field goal that gives the Cardinals the lead.
Good snap, perfect hold by Hogeboom, and Del Greco drives it through. And he made his coach a very happy man.
Gene Stallings, and he can talk all he wants about who cares about last year's 5-game losing streak at the end. Everyone thinks about it and knows about it, and nothing will erase it better than a victory here in this opener.
And the only time he ever thought about it is when people like us had kept reminding him of it.
Just 5 times yesterday.
They may be 1-0 now.
Del Greco will kick off, and Mel Gray, who's dangerous, will be back for the Lions. 13 seconds remain. Cardinals 16, the Lions 13. There's Gray. Well, he's going to give a chance. This is going to be Woods at the 7. Fumbles. Cardinals may have it. They do. Fumble. And the Phoenix Cardinals have recovered at the 21-yard line as Jerry Woods, rookie from Northern Michigan, fumbles the kickoff. And the hit made by Eric Hill, the #1 pick by the Cardinals. And that is all she wrote. And for the Phoenix Cardinals, a hard, tough victory, but it'll be a victory on the road. And coming up next, it'll be Yvonne Lendl and Boris Becker in the men's final of the U.S. Open. 8 seconds remain, and they'll just run it out. And Dan, the Lions have restored the roar. Barry Sanders is going to bring people back to this place for sure.
Yes, he has. And this was a hard-fought victory for the Phoenix Cardinals.
But it's a victory in a tough division, well earned. And Gary Hogeboom, a star today.
He really was. He performed when he had to, brought the Cardinals to a point where they won the game.
Well, he did it in front of the home folks. Not quite perhaps in Grand Rapids, but he did it. Barry Sanders with a sterling debut, but it's the Phoenix Cardinals who defeat the Detroit